Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and it's Thursday, which means if you guys want to get a little bit weird today, we absolutely can. But I'll tell you what, today is going to be the very first day that Jeremy Chugs and I try something, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we have in store for you, because not only are we going to be talking about the latest Raiders general manager news, not only are we going to try to get into a crazy day in the NFL that was yesterday, and we'll get into some other Raiders updates that happened yesterday, just in case you missed them. I'm going to also go through, though, and I'm going to rank every single Raiders general manager candidate that we know so far that is interviewing or that was requested to interview with the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to rank those from 7 down to 1. And then I'm going to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl, but we're going to do it in a little bit of a different way. So my question to the nation out there is this. We talk a lot about head coach, right? Antonio Pierce, Jim Harbaugh. Hell, I see some people freaking out about the picture of Bill Belichick. Don't worry, we're just talking NFL news and rumors today. But then on top of that, you know, I've seen some discussions around Mike Vrabel. What about maybe somebody like Patrick Graham? What'd you say? Nick Saban's not going to happen. However, though, the general manager is going to be the position that we end up hiring first. So who do you think will be the Raiders general manager this season? If you haven't already, please go vote. It's at the very, very top of today's show, which most of the votes coming in right now are for Champ Kelly. Find out where I have Champ Kelly ranked amongst other GM candidates. But without further ado, let's bring in my good buddy here, Jeremy Chugs. What is up? What is up to the nation? I see TT's going to go with Champ Kelly. Anthony says me. Anthony, I greatly appreciate that. If you haven't already seen my perfect off-season video, it is on the channel. Please don't be shy. Go check it out. I see Mad Bet Raider says Champ with a second guy. Martin Cloud here in the house. King Sanchez. We out here entertainment's going to go with CK. Adam Peters from Vincenzo Peoples. Kelly for, looks like Zalesbo. Tadashi says, what's up, Chugs? King Shy. He was on the Bears stream last night when I did a boot. What's up to him? He says Champ Kelly. Brian Dorr. Brian, I got your jersey. I'll be wearing that a little bit later today. Miguel Guerrero wants Dobbs. I see Champ again coming in here from Brian Dorr.
Malachi says, I have big Chugs and I cannot lie.
I'll tell you this, I do have 8 Chugs, and that I cannot lie. We got 550 people tuned into the Raiders Report today. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button. We're going to be doing a few different things today, and I see Raider Muerte. He's trying to get the good vibes going. I'll tell you what the drinking deals are here in just a little bit, but not only, like I mentioned, we're going to talk a lot about the Raiders, and the way that I really want today's show to go is very close to the way that Tuesday's show went. I want y'all to ask me as many questions as humanly possible. And if you use hashtag Raiders, we're going to look at the good questions, or we're going to take the questions maybe that we see that catch our eye, and we'll put them up here on screen. That's going to be Jeremy's job. However, though, if you've ever been to Disney, you can get your Fast Pass. You got to pay a little money to get it. You can skip the line, get your questions up here on the show with a little bit of a super chat. Now, the ways that I'm going to be drinking are 2 ways. I have one way. That's 100% free.
Did we hit it?
The other way, no, not yet. The other way, oh, you're talking 160. We're close. I mean, we got to be close.
Oh.
The other way is we are going to be doing it with a bang. So as always, if we bang today, you already know, and, you know, sometimes it just happens, man. This one's rolling in from OC Raider Bang! If you don't spam OC, get the hell out of my chat. And that means OC is our new January MVP in the lead. Oh, another one. Bang. What's the Jan MVP jersey count at? He's a drink a deal for you, Chugs and Mitch. That's a beer bong. OC Raider has been on a hot one. OC's got 11. Abjin's at 10. Mr. Brian Folsom is at 8. Matthew Fluhey at 5. And then Taino is going to be rolling here with 3. And now ties it up is David Zon Bang! The man, the myth, the legend. David frickin' Zahn. So I already owe y'all 2. I already owe all of y'all 2 beer bongs. But you know what? Can we all agree on this? Give me a Y for yes or N for no. Is Raider Nation family? Y for yes, N for no. What do you guys think? Get some votes in there, Jeremy. I want you to give shout outs to everybody that answers that question.
I see.
Is Raider Nation family?
Been there, done that. Javezzi, the autumn win. Raider 9208. Mario, Juan Hernandez. Lord Only Dans. We got Abby. We got King Sanchez. Mad Vet Raider. Victor. TM. Rich O. Legendary Jimmy Gaming. Ruthless Raider. Mark Navarro. Conan. D-Block. Sucker Free Raider. Brian Dar. Javette. We've got Brandy, Tadashi, Martin Cloud, Rhino, Phillip, Legendary Jimmy, Bayou Raider, Heart Ablaze,
Jason,
possibly your father, King Sanchez.
Jason Martin, which I think is probably the best way to put it, a dysfunctional family. It's been a dysfunctional family on the field, but I think what we do here on the Raiders Report, man, is a very, very beautiful thing. So here's what I'm going to do. And were you cheering because we just hit 160,000 subscribers?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So here's what I want all of y'all to do. For those of you that do not know.
Emotional damage.
For those of you that do not know, Justin Abgen has been, I would say, an absolute, oh, wow, I don't know. Can you make a short link for that, do you think? Because I can't copy it. It won't let me. I might have to do it on the quick. All right. We're going to have to pause on my idea here real quick here. I think if you just do...
Oh, it's too many.
It's too many. I think you're just going to have to do chatsports.com/Abgen. Maybe a quick redirect. So what I'm going to end up doing here is Justin Abgen's been a freaking legend on this show. And I think we can all agree with that. Justin's done a lot of really, really cool things this month. And I was talking to him last night. So I want to do something special for Justin. And I'm going to tell you what that deal is here in just a second. But if you can't bang, hey, it's all good. We're going to do something today for Abgen because as I'm looking down in the chat here, we are all part of a family. And if anybody out there owns a business or, wants a little bit of love here once in a while, please don't be shy. Hit me up on social media. I would definitely appreciate it. All right, let's go to Derek. Kelly helped choose Trubisky over Mahomes. Pass. I know you're talking about Champ Kelly, and I'm going to talk about Kelly today, and I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I think Champ Kelly is a good general manager. I do. However, though, there are other general managers that the Raiders are going to interview that I think are better GMs than Champ Kelly. And today, you're going to see exactly where I would rank Champ Kelly amongst all of the candidates that the Raiders are going to interview. And don't get me wrong, I think Kelly is a hell of a human being. I think he's done a lot of good things here for the Las Vegas Raiders. However, though, I'm at the situation where, to me, I think at head coach, it's AP or Harbaugh. I think if you go AP, that's a good hire. If you go Harbaugh, it's a good hire. I'm not saying that Champ Kelly isn't a good hire, but at the end of the day, you have to try to improve in every aspect, whether that's at the quarterback position, whether that's at GM, head coach, kicker, wide receiver, long snapper. In the NFL, it's always about trying to improve. I'm not going to pass on Champ Kelly for that reason and that reason alone, but I do think it is something that we got to talk about. Actually, I remember what I was going to say. This one's rolling in from Mask 80. Bang! The third one of the day. And I'm already going to have to update my bang counter here. Already going to have to get it going. If you haven't already, give Mask 80 a little bit of a shout out. Now, Jeremy, I don't know if we got it figured out. You did? Perfect. Let me see. Drum roll. It does. All right, if you want to put that at the very top of the chat here. If you guys want to shout out on the show, spam Mask 80, show a little bit of love to Zahn, and shout out to OC Raider for getting this party started. No questions, just love. Shout out to Mask. All right, y'all. So Jeremy just put a link Whew, man, that one went down quick. Jeremy just put a link down in the comments. Now, some of you are probably like, what the hell is this thing? Jetstream Plumbing in Idaho. So this is actually the company that Justin Avgin owns. And here's my deal to you. Once we get to 100 or 200 Google reviews, and I want only 5-star reviews, so technically Justin Avgin needs 14 more 5-star reviews. You can see it down there in the comments section right now in our live show. Once he gets to 200 reviews, so 14 more 5-star reviews, I'm going to do another beer bong. I know that not everybody has the capability to bang. I know that not everybody has the capability to do that, but everybody right now can take 60 seconds out of their day, give a nice 5-star review. It can just say, the best plumber in Idaho. Avgin has done a lot of amazing things for this channel this month over the past year, so if you guys could, give him a 5-star review, which you can find down there in the comments section. Y'all are really, really trying to get me right now, huh? Y'all are really trying to get me. Arbor Bang! Oh, I still owe you 2 more. I'll tell you what, this is about to get nuts. This is about to get a little bit sloppy, which hopefully y'all don't mind too much.
Raphael says best pipe layer in the business.
Did you? Mine that I did yesterday was, it was crap. What was it? It was heard something rolling in my pipes. Then I heard a loud bang, and they were able to fix it or something like that. But he sent it to me. He basically, he doesn't even know I'm doing this, by the way. So he's going to tune in today. He's going to have no idea. He's probably going to get all these 5-star reviews. But he talked to me yesterday, and he said, you know, hey, Mitch, congratulations on 160,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get 200 5-star reviews. So I said, all right, man, I'll give you a review, and if it helps, it helps. And then, again, he was super, super appreciative. So basically what I want is I want him to tune in today's show, and then all of a sudden, he's got all these 5-star reviews. I think that's what the nation is all about. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. Holy shit! 80 bang!
Oh, has to be said, Mitch, you're a walking, talking, that's what she said joke machine.
Oh, it's actually a problem sometimes. The amount of giggities that I throw out, and, you know, it's one of those things like...
I'll take the tuna.
Pause. But it's one of those things when you don't really realize they're like an inside joke, right? Like the amount of inside jokes that we've been able to create here on this show because of how much time that we spend together. And then when you're like out talking to other people that maybe don't watch the Raiders Report, or maybe people that aren't a part of the inside joke, and you still say it anyway, and they look at you like, what the hell is this guy even talking about? Yeah, I know. David Zon Bang! I'll tell you this, sooner or later, we're going to get into some content today. I don't know when. I don't have the answer for when. But sooner or later, we will get into some actual content today. But yeah, if you guys are doing the math at home like Chef is, I might as well just pour this in here. Oh, okay. I'm not going to lie, Chugs. I didn't quite anticipate for the amount of bangs that we got. So if you could just top me off over there, and can you go grab me a few more Hap Dads? I should be good. Yeah, you might as well throw these away. There's just already way too many empty bodies. Way too many empty bodies. Wedding planning took me out, but I'm back with another Raiders family member, wifey. What's up, brother? Arbor, man, it's good to see you. This is one of our OGs over on Locals and Venom. What's up? But he's one of our legends over on Locals, and I don't really want to say that I understand the whole wedding planning thing because I'm not going to lie to y'all. This might be hard for you to believe. I'm not doing much of the heavy lifting in the wedding planning department. And even if I had the job to do a lot of the heavy lifting in the wedding planning department, I think I'd get vetoed pretty quickly. I mean, a Raiders wedding sounds pretty good to me, right? But hey, it's no sweat, man. We're going to have a lot of fun on today's show. We're going to do something today that we have, like I said, never done today, and I'm really curious on what exactly ends up going down today. But if you guys are looking for an updated look at our Bang race for the month of January, it is now Zon's got 4, Mask has got 3, Taino 3, Fluhy 5, Folsom 8, Abjin 10, and in the lead, OC Raider. OC Raider with the lead. You've got to be shitting me. Justin Abjin Bang! I mean, sometimes, man, real, they got to recognize real. And Abjin, honestly, talking to you yesterday, dude, and the congratulations that I got on the show on 160K. By the way, did he get to 200 yet? He's 2 5-star reviews away from 200. I think if that happens, you got a beer bong in you. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm worried they're trying to kill me. I might drown live on the Raiders Report. Abjin, I'm just saying, oh my, see a Raider bang! If I had 10 words that I've said today, it's Raider Nation, what's going on, and the other word is bang. I think that's the only content that we've been able to put out so far. And you know what? It is what it is. If you left Justin Abjin a 5-star review, let me know down below. Brian Dar put 5 stars in the chat. If you have put in 5 stars on Justin Abjin's plumbing company, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is chatsports.com/ I literally, Abjin, I made you your own custom link. So if you ever want to share this with anybody, you have the ability to do so. It is chatsports.com/ Justin Abjin. So we are 2 more reviews away. And then Jeremy is going to get on in here, and he's going to knock back a beer bong. And then, like I said, I promise we will get into some actual Raiders content at some point today. What's up, Scheffler? He says he wants a boot race. The people are telling me, Chugs, can you do a boot? Because if we get one more bang, it's a boot, technically. You might as well just go fill it up. Just go fill it up, Buttercup. Just go fill up a boot. I see Tadashi, Ethan Klein, Sienna, Anna Martinez. Venom wants a boob race. I can't help you with that, but Mask 80 can help get a boot race because Mask 80 bang! Oh my goodness. Are you guys shitting me right now? I don't know what y'all are doing. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Does anybody have a beer bong in them out there? Does anybody have a beer bong in them out there? Because you guys are actually trying to drown me. Like, we're going to have to get a lifesaver. I'm going to need floaties, a snorkel. End of 2024. I'll be on Raider more. Book it, Mitch. I hope you really like drinking. It's not that I really like drinking. I really like hanging out and partying with the nation. And one guy that I have partied with in person with, one person that I know can put some down. Now, Zon handles his liquor better than I do. Unless it's Fireball, then I'll go with anybody. However, when it comes to partying, man, I don't do this show to get drunk. I do this show because genuinely, when this crazy shit happens, I hope that all of y'all are going, hey, you know what? OC Raider, cheers to you. Hey, Mask 80, cheers to you. Hey, David Zahn, cheers to you. Justin Abjin, cheers to you. That's what I want to happen because that's why we do what we do here. We just try to entertain. We try to have a good time. Justin Abjin now, we just got you 20 new 5-star reviews. And my boss, Brett, he's also going to come on here, and there's going to be a bunch of people that do some beer bongs. So Chugs and I are going to do a boot race. When I say boot race, it's not, oh, no, you can join us. Oh, you don't want a boot? Have you ever, oh, he's done a boot before. You did a coffee boot. I remember. I know. Also, I don't think I banged for Zahn. What? Oh, I told people today that we're getting a bunch of new jerseys. I know some of y'all have been asking, Mitch, when's my jersey coming in? We're about to order like 20 of them. So I said like a month ago that I don't know what happened with the holidays or what, but something ended up going down. Either way, though, David Zorn Bang! All right, so Brett's going to do one. We're going to do two boots. The next one, Allie's going to do. Okay. All right. Hey, good luck to everybody out there. Let's do ours first, though, Chugs, because we got some catching up to do. Mitchell Renz for GM. He can last in cold weather. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because Alex is going to be like, I guess we should do it outside. But I can handle cold weather. I will say that. I can handle cold weather. Brian Darr, get a pick. Brian Darr, I have your jersey. That's going to be the jersey that I wear on our GM candidate show here in a little bit. Mask, I don't drink, but my brain cells are still getting wrecked with you. What? Allie Barefoot from the Warriors, yes, chef. She said she would do a beer bong. And then we have a lot, and I mean actually like a lot of content to get into. I feel like a lot of times on Thursdays, all y'all do is you're like, all right, how trash can we get Mitch? And then watch him stumble through trying to get all these videos done. But hey, some days you guys got me. Today already, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm like, I don't even know how many I've had at this point. 3, 4, about to do a boot. It's going to be an interesting day, man. Bottom line, though, I love hanging out with each and every one of y'all. You ready to do this? All right, so first coming up here is going to be a Jeremy Chugs and I boot race, which, spoiler alert, unless I'm getting a head start, I'm not going to win. So all I want to know is how many second of a head start do I get? Chugs is going with a Zahn shake. I'm going with just a happy dad. Some might say a happy Harry. Some might say a happy Scott. I'm just going to go with a happy dad. Austin says 5 seconds. I'm going to tell you this right now. I need more than 5. It's got to be double digits.
I've heard that one before.
I need more than 5. You want to tell your joke that you told me before the show?
Oh yeah. Does anybody know what bagels and karate have in common? They both use judo.
I'm not going to lie. They both use judo. I think somebody just back there was like, I mean, kind of like me. I was thinking to myself, is that a Shamir? Is that, well, I mean, what on it? It's fine. No, he can say it. It's fine. He can say it. All right, y'all. I'm seeing Eric says 20. Scheffler says 18. Abby's going to go with 12. Tadashi 15. Lucky number 13 second head start. What do you think? 13-second head start? Is that fair enough for you? That's actually a good challenge for you. Because I feel like we've done one before where it was like 11 or 12, and you still beat me.
Yeah, Chris gets it.
What?
Chris gets it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Chris, thank God somebody else gets it. Or else people are like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
The joke's not funny if you don't have to explain it afterwards.
Usually. I mean, if you got to explain it, isn't that the worst, though? When you got one saved in the chamber, and you drop it, and you're waiting.
Blast him to the sun!
And you're waiting, and when you drop that joke, and nobody laughs. It's a brutal feeling. I hear you.
Yeah, Jeffrey says 13 for the 13th pick.
13 for the 13th pick.
Do you have a timer?
I like that, Jeff. All right, I'll set the timer right now. And after we do this, we're going to bring in some other people here to do some beer bongs here on the Raiders Report. And then after that, we will actually get into some Raiders content today. Hopefully that's okay with you.
I swear.
Hopefully that's okay with you. Ready? Set.
Oh! Mass 80! Bay!
It's disgusting. I'll do it again, though, for Mask 80! Bang! Oh, my goodness. I've never seen anybody, and I mean anybody, take down 3 beers the way that Chugs does. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Abby. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, can you go get Foot, Scott, and if somebody else wants to join, cool. If not, I can do one more. And then we're going to get into some actual Raiders content today. Which one? The mask one. Okay. Well, I'm saying we still owe 3 more. 3 more. Because there's the Abjin reviews, and then there's the one for Brett, and then there's the one for Allie. Or Abby. Either one. Either one's fine. Either one's fine. Oh, man. All right, man. We got 650 people here in the building. If you want to go grab them, or just get them, probably is a better way to do that. Yeah, that's probably the better way to do that. Oh, man. Chugs is his name and superpower from Abby. I mean, no lies detected. On his birth certificate, Jeremy Chugs. No lies detected whatsoever. We have been live for 28 minutes. And have we answered a legit Raiders question yet? I mean, that is Derek Garcia 20 minutes ago asked about Champ Kelly, Trubisky over Mahomes. Besides that, the answer to that question is no. I think you guys are ready for the weekend. I think y'all are ready for the weekend. Now, I am off tomorrow here. You guys will still get a video. And then I'll be back on Saturday for a watch party Chiefs-Dolphins game. This game might get, moved or rescheduled because of the weather. Like, it's supposed to be like minus 30 feel. You don't think it will? They're not going to reschedule it? Okay. Brett says they're not gonna, so. No, it's staying? All right. It's staying in Kansas City. We're not effing leaving. Oh, really? Nah. I'm not covering that one. Now I'm not gonna lie, that boot is hitting me. It is hitting me. What? Party on, Wayne? You can stand wherever. I don't bite. All right. Before you do that beer bong, you have to say, I'm not going to do that. Party on, Wayne? Okay. All right, let me get this one going here. Give me a sec here.
All right. Type M for Mitch, B for Barefoot. Oh, well, I really put myself in a hole right here. Type M for Mitch, A for Allie, or B for Brett.
I mean, you could have gone S for Scott.
But then he should have gone R for Brett. Yeah. Mitch, Allie, or Brett. Who you got? B for Brett, A for Allie, M for Mitch.
Yours is? Yeah, there's steam coming out of it. Yeah, a lot of A's here.
There's some A's
There,
in the
it's
chat.
a little bit of bias. A little bias going on.
There's some A's in the chat.
All right, here we go. Shout out to all of y'all. Chugs, you tell us when.
When? Allie, and then Mitch. Brett, Allie, and then Mitch.
Hey, if you're not first, you're last, so whatever. Oh, that's usually me. I never win. Oh, my goodness.
But when I do.
Cheers. You got a shout out today. Somebody watches you on Warriors. They said Allie from Warriors. Somebody said we like her hair. Raider Sancho, I know. Throw all the tomatoes my way. All the tomatoes my way. Also, shout out to a few more supers that are rolling in here. And then, who's ready to talk actual Raiders content today? Me. I'm ready. Scheffler, that's 11 straight bangs. Got to be close to a record. I mean, not 11 straight. I see 4. See, like, to me, straight bangs is like when it's one after, like, it's just red. I think the record, honestly, on this show, we did it last off season. How many? It was 10. No, I actually, because I remember the show exactly. It wasn't like a Raiders game day. I think it was a Friday happy hour show, and it was literally just like, and it was toast. We were getting toasted. Shout out to Chef. Let's go to Jesper, Mitch and Chugs, and a nation. There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and a shout out for locals for the best content, personal interactions, and more live shows. So yesterday I went live on Locals. You guys can join at RaidersReport.locals.com. And we actually did a little bit of a mock draft, answered some questions, and everybody on Locals knows what I'm going to do today, because that's kind of why I tell people to, hey, watch the show on Wednesday. I'll tell you what I'm going to do on Thursday. So the people who watched on Locals, they know exactly what I'm going to do today. Not everybody knows. Some people do. What up, Martin? What up, Patrick B? I see Mask 80 been balling today. Mask 80 been balling today, which, Mask, I realize now I want to not understand the news off-season. Baby, let's get wrecked. So here's the thing, Jeremy. Can you put that Mask 81 back up here for me? Because here's the problem. Sometimes when we get a little bit weird on these shows, I'm not great at counting. However, I didn't realize that this was Mask 80's 5th one, which means I need all y'all to spam gong down below. Chugs, if you could do me a great honor, and after I get done hitting this gong rip, I want to give some shout-outs to Mask 80, and then we got to get into some Raiders content. Does that sound good to all of y'all? Everybody spam gong right now. Mask 80. Mask 80. If you don't spam Mask 80, you probably rooting for the Chiefs this weekend.
Tadashi, Raider
You're probably
Sancho,
rooting for the Chiefs this weekend.
Ed, Robert, Sienna, Luis.
FKC. Get them out of here. Let's go Dolphins. Am I right? Let's go Dolphins.
Miami has the Dolphins. The greatest football team.
The Dolphins, I'm not worried. I'm not worried even the slightest. I'm not worried even in the slightest. I got Ken, John Tinsley, Blue Richards,
What does the dolphin sound like?
I can't do it. I've been screaming too much today. I don't have the voice.
Allie, do you know what a dolphin sounds like? Can you do it?
Too bad Rolly's not here. He does great animal impressions. Trace turned around. He looked eager. That's if a cat's riding a dolphin.
I thought I heard that after the holiday party.
Oh, my God. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. Okay, y'all. It's time. Let's talk Raiders. Let's talk Raiders before this just gets bad. And then once I get through all my cuts, so I got 3 cuts for y'all today. We're going to talk news and rumors. We're going to talk GM candidates in terms of how much I like each of them. I'm going to rank them all for you. And then I'm going to tell you who's going to win Super Bowl 58. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to tell you who's going to win Super Bowl 58. We got another way of predicting who's going to win the Super Bowl that I know for a fact y'all are not going to want to miss. And Jeremy, before we get into it, I feel like I'm not doing a good job here. If anybody wants a chance to win some money today, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to get in for a 50-50 raffle. A ton of duck races today. Just telling you that right now. Ton of duck races today. 50-50 raffle. 20 to enter at Mitchell Renz 365. And Chugs, here's the thing. I'm going to add an extra 100 to this race. I'm going to add an extra 100 to this race. So it's going to be a high-stakes race. High-stakes race. You ready? High-stakes race. 20 to get in at Mitchell Renz 365. I'll tell you everybody who's in, but after we get into this very first cut here around the Las Vegas Raiders. You ready? Are you ready? I don't know what you're doing. All right, hang on a second. First segment is, I want to say, game time. Is that correct? I think that's correct. I have no idea what song you just sang, and Trace came in like it was at the Billboard Top 100 list all year. No, I had friends growing up. Zoe all right, maybe I'm too old for Zoe 101.
That was
because everybody under the age of 26 just said, yes, I've seen it.
That was one of the best intro songs for a TV show ever.
I'll tell you this right now. I don't even want to know why Smitty watched Zoe 101, because I could tell you why. Smitty watching Zoe 101 was rocking out with his C cock out. I know that. I mean, Zoe 101, no way. No way. Mask 80. Hey, yes, her last name is actually Barefoot. But no feet picks for Zahn. No feet picks for Zahn. Zach Martin is the first person in our duck race. Shout out to Zach Martin. I mean, Zach, here's the thing. If you're the only one that enters, it's just going to be a race between me and you're just going to win $120. No matter what. Sounds like a pretty good thing. Sorry, Martin's in now. All right, coming up right now here on the Raiders Report, Raiders news. You can't miss. What? No, it is Zach Martin, which I feel like if your name's Zach Martin, that's two first names, right? Zach Martin, two first names. All right, now there's a few more people in. I'll give a shout out to all those people that just entered our 50-50 raffle. Remember, I'm adding an extra $100 on this one. Coming up, the Raiders news that I think you guys need to hear about. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And coming up on today's show, we're going to get into the Raiders news that simply you cannot miss. We're going to talk about a brand new Raiders general manager candidate that is out there. I'm also going to tell you the two candidates that the Silver and Black are going to be interviewing tomorrow on Friday. On top of that, though, let's get into a lot of NFL news because I don't know about y'all. Over the past 24 hours in the NFL college football world, it has been insane. And Raiders rumors are flying left and right. And I'm here to tell you whether what's true, what's not true. And then at the very, very end of today's show, I'm going to look at some of the news that happened on Wednesday that maybe some of y'all missed. I did make some videos on it on our Raiders Shorts, which if you guys haven't already, I'm putting out a lot more Raiders Shorts, so please don't be shy and go check those out. All right, so let's get into the big-time topics of discussion around the Las Vegas Raiders right now, which is the general manager search, right? And the Raiders are doing the right thing. Mark Davis is doing the smart thing by interviewing general manager candidates first, hiring a GM, and then you hire head coach. That's what good organizations do. So according to Tom Pelissero, the Raiders interviewed Broncos executive Kelly Klein Van Callaghan for their general manager job. So she is going to be interviewing with the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know some of y'all probably just went, wait, she? Yes, she. She is a very well-respected person right now with the Denver Broncos and been a really good right-hand, I almost said man, a very good right-handed person to being able to manage a lot of salary caps, has done a really solid job in terms of the drafting department. But if you're somebody that's always wondering salary cap or numbers, I ain't a numbers guy, but somebody that's done a really good job with their cap construction, it's one of the reasons why they're so confident they can move on from somebody like Russell Wilson and cut him. It's because of Kelly, and she has a lot of respect there in that room. So as it stands right now, here is the Raiders general manager tracker as of today that I am filming this video. Champ Kelly, he's going to get an interview, the interim general manager. Trey Brown, the senior personnel executive from the Cincinnati Bengals. Terrence Gray, director of player personnel from the Buffalo Bills. Ed Dodds, the assistant GM for the Indianapolis Colts. Adam Peters, assistant GM for the 49ers. Tom Telesco, former GM of the Los Angeles Chargers. And then Kelly Klein Van Callaghan, executive for the Denver Broncos. So here's the thing, man. Once the Raiders do name a general manager, I'm going to be going live. You don't go live for 26 straight hours when they fire their head coach if you don't plan on celebrating when they hire a GM. I'm telling you this right now, though. Depending on who they hire at GM is going to tell you a lot about what this organization is potentially thinking going forward. If they hire a guy like Ed Dodds, it's probably going to be Jim Harbaugh. If they go in a different direction, maybe they just bring back Champ Kelly, then they're probably going to go with Antonio Pierce. Bottom line is, I haven't been this excited for an offseason in a very, very long time. And when they finally name that GM, I feel like we're going to be going in the right direction. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be live partying on the Raiders Report. All right, so coming up here is some big football news that I think that you need to know. And the reason why it's important to know is I don't know if some of these coaches are going to impact the Las Vegas Raiders, but I've been doing the Raiders Report for long enough. I've been working at Chat Sports long enough. I've been covering the NFL for long enough to know this. When a big-time head coach, a name, a face that my mother would recognize, gets fired or leaves a team, every single person says, could this person coach the Las Vegas Raiders? The first name that we're going to talk about here is Pete Carroll, former head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And this one was a little bit of a surprise. At 72 years old, he's obviously done a lot of great things out there in Seattle, did a lot of great things in the college football realm with USC. But Carroll is no longer the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and he still says that he wants to be involved somehow. I've already seen people on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit say, could Pete Carroll come to the Las Vegas Raiders? No, it's not going to happen. If you want to know who's going to be the next head coach in Seattle, his name is Dan Quinn. Let's now go to another coach that stepped down here from Alabama, Nick Saban. And this one was a kind of a very, very big surprise, right? Saban informed the team that he's going to be retired from Alabama. Obviously, he's won 6 national championships with the Crimson Tide, has done a lot of just phenomenal things. Hell, he's had more players drafted in the first round. I believe that number is 44 than he has had losses. And he's going to go down as the greatest of all time. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. Sometimes people don't understand sarcasm on social media, which it is what it is. And I know some of y'all saw Jeremy's tweet at Jeremy Chug saying Nick Saban could potentially be coming to the Raiders, yet nobody saw all the tweets underneath where we were just obviously joking. Nick Saban's not coming to the Raiders, y'all. Saban's hanging him up. He's retiring, also, I believe, at age 72. And then, bright and early this morning, Bill Belichick out as head coach. I promise you this. If the clown was still head coach, and if Dave Ziegler was still the general manager, this rumor of Belichick potentially joining the Las Vegas Raiders would be a lot bigger than what it is. Now, I talked about earlier this week, and it was reported from Diana Rossini, and it was also reported by Ian Rappaport that Tom Brady, the Raiders, wanted to talk to Bill Belichick. But I'm just going to sit up here and tell you this. Bill's not coming to the Raiders. However, though, I do think it would be a bad decision, not for Mark Davis and not for Tom Brady, to not have a sit-down conversation with Bill Belichick. Not to bring him in to be anything here on this Raiders team, but, let's be real here, right? I understand that there's a lot of people out there I only want Antonio Pierce. I don't want Jim Harbaugh. I'll tell you this right now. I don't care who the next Raiders head coach is. If you told me right now it is John Doe and the Raiders win a Super Bowl, I'm all in. I only care about winning. Commitment to excellence, just win, baby. It would be malpractice if Mark Davis did not sit down with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the exact same room and say, hey, what were the most important things that you guys did to create the greatest dynasty that has ever existed in the NFL? I'm not saying that I want Bill on the team, but I do think it's very smart for Davis to sit down in the same room with Brady and Bill Belichick. And God, I hope that happens. Everybody should hope that happens. I don't care if he's a Patriot. I don't care what he has on his helmet. You know what those guys have done more than anybody? Win. And that's all I care about here on the Raiders Report. So as it stands right now, here are the NFL head coaching openings, and there's actually a lot more than I ever thought that there was going to be this offseason. What do you say? A fourth of the NFL. Look at Jeremy Mathin over here. But 8 head coach jobs are open. Raiders, Chargers, Panthers, Titans, Seahawks, Commanders, Falcons, Patriots. If you would have asked me at the very, very beginning of the season how many openings were there going to be, I probably would have said 4 or 5. The fact that Seattle decided to move on, and then you got the Patriots now, which I'm not totally surprised. That one was always up to Bill. There was a lot of moves, though. Even the Titans. I mean, Seattle, Titans, and the Patriots are all a little bit of a shocker to me. But coming up next here on the show is where the Raiders' job ranks. So I've seen CBS. I've seen USA Today. I have seen all of these publications put out their head coaching rankings. And I'm a Raider fan through and through, right? I got a tattle on my leg. Hey, I believe in it, silver and black till I die. And I know there's a lot of Raider fans out there that believe the same thing. And I know some of y'all are like, Raiders is the number one job out there. But I do think it's important for people to understand where other publications, people who aren't Raider fans, think of what the Raiders' job is ranked next to those 8 teams. Before I tell you what those rankings are, I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Gametime. And a lot of times once Raiders football season is over, I kind of sit around with this up my you-know-what, wondering what the heck am I going to do next? But guess what? I have a little bit more free time once the Raider season's over, and I have a little bit more opportunities to go and do some fun things. And if anybody out there is just like me and you're looking to do more things this offseason, I want you to download the Gametime app because you're going to be able to get $20 off with code RaidersChat. And the more and more I explore this app, the more and more I find things that I'm like, dude, that seems like a hell of a date night with Alex. Or it seems like a really fun way to just maybe get away in Las Vegas for a weekend. If you want to go watch some awesome hockey, I'll tell you this right now. I'm not really a hockey fan when I watch it on TV. I love watching the Raiders. The next sport that I enjoy the most watching live, hockey. It is electric. And some of these ticket prices for the Vegas Golden Knights, one of the best hockey teams in the country, guess what? You can go get your ticket prices there. And also with Gametime, you can set it to whatever city that you want to be in. Another thing that I love on Gametime, events under $50. The holidays just ended. And maybe some of y'all aren't like Mask 80, Avgin, Zon, where they're just balling out, banging all the time. But for me personally, I look at events under $50. And I'll tell you this right now, if I had a child under age of 10 creating memories, you take a child to a UNLV game, you take them to a lacrosse game, that's an awesome memory. Another thing that they do is they have a whole tab that's slotted for the weekend. So if you're like, all right, I want to do something this weekend. I'm busy now, but I want to do something in the weekend. All right, I'm going to go to Las Vegas this weekend. Go to the Vegas tab on Gametime. Go to the Dallas tab on Gametime. Go to the New York tab on Gametime. Look up this weekend. You can find all of their events. And then if you're looking to splurge a little bit, right? This is more of birthday gifts, holiday presents. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. And hopefully Alex doesn't see this, but we're going to be taking a little bit of a trip in February, and I'm going to get something off the Gametime app because it's Valentine's Day. So $20 off with code RaidersChat. Download it today. Terms apply again. Create an account. Redeem code RaidersChat for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. That link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. All right, y'all. So coming up here, where the Raiders' job ranks compared to all the openings right now in the National Football League. So for me personally, I would rank the Raiders' job out of those 8 at number 4, okay? And I know some of you are like, Mitch, only number 4? Yeah, you don't have a franchise quarterback, and that's one of the biggest reasons. But the reason why I do put them at 4 is you're going to have some money at salary cap. You're going to have plenty of draft picks, and you do have the ability, if you wanted to find your franchise quarterback. On top of that, you do have some really solid core players there. However, this is what CBS ranks the head coach openings as it stands right now. Seahawks at 1, Commanders at 2, Chargers at 3, Falcons 4, Raiders 5, Patriots 6, Titans 7, and the Panthers are so far in last, and I mean so far in last, that it's not even funny. I can't wait to see who takes that Carolina job. I can't wait to see what the Panthers try to do because it's going to be a disaster. Chugs just said in my ear it's going to be a first-time head coach. I couldn't agree more. There's no way that somebody's going to take that Carolina Panthers job that has been a head coach before. And if they do, man, you better be really, really confident in yourself. All right, y'all, coming up next here on the show is what an NFL insider thinks the Raiders, or why the Raiders maybe don't go with Antonio Pierce. And I'll get into what they had to say. I'll get into my comments, my ideas around what this report was, because I think if you were to ask 100 Raider fans right now, 70% of those fans would probably say, we want Antonio Pierce back, which I get. AP is a Raider through and through, and that's what the nation's about, right? It's about repping for your friends. It's about repping for your family. It's about repping for the one and only nation. But this is what Albert Breer had to say on the Raiders head coaching search. I think the Raiders take a swing at Harbaugh. And I think if they can't land a big fish like Vrabel, Harbaugh, or Belichick, then they probably stick with Antonio Pierce. Well, the name that I'm going to bring up here is Belichick. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Bill Belichick ain't coming to the Las Vegas Raiders. I've seen the reports. I've seen what Diana Rossini has said. I have seen what Ian Rappaport has said. To me, it is literally just to have a conversation. And I'll say it again. Raider fans should want Mark Davis to sit down in a room with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick to talk about what were the little things that they did to make that franchise special. Danny Amendola, one of the Raiders coaches, spoke this week and said, we worked for Bill, but we played for Tom. You need to be able to find a group of players that play for somebody. And right now, that group of players is sticking up for Antonio Pierce. So that's one of the reasons why I do think it would be smart to put them in the same room. If you were to ask me, Mitch, who do you think are the head coach rankings? Because I heard Vrabel. Vrabel's not coming to the Raiders either. He's going to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots. And then on top of that, the OC of the Patriots, I'm telling y'all right now, or he's going to be working there, is going to be McDaniels. And when the Patriots do decide to hire McDaniels, I will go live on this show. I'm telling you right now, I'll go live on this show laughing my ass off. But my head coaching rankings right now for the Silver and Black, if you were to ask me what I would do, number 1 is Antonio Pierce. Number 2 is Jim Harbaugh. Number 3 is Patrick Graham. That's how good Patrick Graham was last season. So here's my question to the nation. Let's get a little bit fun here. That's what the Raiders Report is all about. You can pick Antonio Pierce, AP. You want to roll with Jim Harbaugh, JH. You want to go with Patrick Graham, type PG. If there is another head coach that you believe deserves to be in charge of the Silver and Black, I want you to type O. You want to be an overachiever, though? I do want to know what that person is. I'm watching this live stream right now, and it is nothing but APs and JHs. My answer after this YouTube ad break. I love me some Antonio Pierce, but, let's get one thing straight here. What I'm about to say, I'm not trying to upset people. When I do this show, I am always an honest human being, and I think being honest is how you get far in life. And what you see down below is what I believe. If you can keep Antonio Pierce and Patrick Graham together, I will take that combination over Jim Harbaugh. However, if Patrick Graham goes somewhere else, maybe he gets a head coaching job. Maybe he goes and decides he wants to be a defensive coordinator somewhere else. I don't think he does that. I think he only leaves for a head coaching job. And it's Antonio Pierce or Jim Harbaugh without Patrick Graham. I'll take Jim Harbaugh. I'll take somebody that has proven that he can win every single place that he has been at. San Diego, Stanford, Michigan, the 49ers. I don't care what it is. I just want to win. So with me saying this, I like both Pierce and Harbaugh, and I would be okay with Patrick Graham even at head coach. If you told me today, fast forward, Mitch, one of the head coaches is going to be AP or Jim Harbaugh, I'm going to be as happy as you possibly can be. And I don't want people, and I've seen this on social media, people are like, we want Antonio Pierce because the Raiders are, smoking cigars, listening to the NWA in the freaking locker room, and then you got Harbaugh singing whatever song he was singing. He's a jolly good fellow. Well, guess what? I'll sing He's a Jolly Good Fellow if the Raiders win a Super Bowl. I'll smoke a cigar if the Raiders win a Super Bowl. Bottom line, all I care about is commitment to excellence. Just win, baby. And I think that's what's really important here for the Raiders. Let's keep going here, though, with Albert Breer on what he had to say about the Raiders' GM search this time. The Raiders loved Ed Dodds 2 years ago when they interviewed him for their GM job. And so he's a strong position going into his interview there. Regardless of what happens with the coach, but that he has the connection to Harbaugh doesn't hurt. I do think it's important to note that the Raiders are going to hire a GM before they hire a head coach. This is a good move, right? This is what smart organizations do. This is what good organizations do. But I promise you this right now. Ed Dodds is interviewing with the Las Vegas Raiders tomorrow on Friday. He's not the only one. The Bills' director of personnel also, he's going to be interviewing with the Raiders tomorrow on Friday. But I'll promise you this. If Ed Dodds is hired to be the general manager, y'all better prepare yourself because it's going to be Jim Harbaugh. Like, Dodds and Harbaugh go way back. They worked together on this Raiders team back in 2003. Like, they have a lot of ties together. And Harbaugh's going to want to bring in his own guy. If you were to ask me, Mitch, if Harbaugh's head coach, well, what happens to our DC? It's probably Minter. Minter's probably going to come in. Right now, he's working on the Michigan staff. He's probably going to come in here. He's going to be your defensive coordinator. So to me, if Ed Dodds is hired, it's going to be Jim Harbaugh. I just want you to understand that. Next thing coming up here on the show is just some news that happened yesterday. So my schedule here at Chat Sports, the way that it works is I go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. All those 3 days, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific. So if you ever want to tune in and hang out with Jeremy Chugs and I when we go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m. I also usually go live for Raiders games. But hey, Mitch, what are you going to do now that it's the offseason? Every single time the Chiefs play, I'm rooting against them. So we're going to be live on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, Chiefs, Dolphins. I am going live 90 minutes before kickoff. We're going to talk Raiders. I'm going to have some segments for you guys. Talk probably about head coach, GM, all the updates, probably a lot of the updates that happened from Friday's meetings with the Raiders. And then we're going to get into this football game here. We're going to be rooting on Miami. I get it. I am a Raider guy through and through, but I will root for anybody, and I mean anybody, that plays up against Kansas City. So if you want to join me, hit that subscribe button and turn on those noties. Also, it's the first time I'm telling you all this. I am going to give away a jersey signed by a current Raiders player that plays on defense. Not going to tell you who it was, but a Raiders player on defense, jersey giveaway, signed by him, JSA certified, during this game. So if you want to win it, you better tune in. So the news that happened yesterday, in case you missed it, and I really want to try to get you guys even more and more videos when maybe I don't have Chugs to produce a video, or we don't have all of our graphic abilities because Wednesday's my day that I got to catch up on a lot of stuff. So what I've been trying to do is put out a lot of Raiders shorts here on YouTube. They're 60-second clips, quick, easy. They give you the information that you need. And the Raiders, they decline an NFL team to interview Patrick Graham for a DC opening. The Titans, they're going to interview Antonio Pierce to be head coach. And here's the thing. I know some people think that AP getting interviewed by the Titans is just the Rooney Rule. That's just foolish to me. Believe it or not, Antonio Pierce has earned the respect around the National Football League. And for anybody out there that thinks it's just a Rooney Rule interview, then I'm going to tell all of y'all that you shouldn't want Antonio Pierce to be your head coach. If you think it's just a Rooney Rule move, that's not your head coach. It's a move because people respect what Antonio Pierce did for the Las Vegas Raiders. But bottom line, and I've had this also asked to me, Mitch, can the Raiders decline Antonio Pierce for head coach? The way that the NFL works is this. You cannot decline an interview with a team if it's considered an upgrade, a job move up, right? So if Patrick Graham wants to interview for another DC job, the Raiders can decline that because he's already the defensive coordinator. If he wants to go look for a head coaching job, you can't decline that, nor should you. And that's why the Raiders, right now with Antonio Pierce, he's an intern. As an intern, moving up to head coach is an upgrade, right? So because of that, the Raiders were allowed to decline Patrick Graham. They were not allowed to decline Antonio Pierce, and you shouldn't decline Antonio Pierce the opportunity to go interview to be a head coach in the NFL. All right, y'all. Austin, what's up, man? If Peters, Gray, Brown gets hired as GM, who comes in as head coach for them? So you're saying if Peters, Gray, or Brown, it's Antonio Pierce. I've talked to a lot of people. I am in the belief that if Adam Peters from the San Francisco 49ers is hired, he's going to bring his old buddy, Clint Kubiak, over to be the OC. Antonio Pierce is going to be your head coach, and then they're going to keep Patrick Graham at DC. That's why this is that's what I want personally. For Gray, I still believe that it's going to be AP. The only person, and I mean this, I really think the only person that decides to keep Jim Harbaugh over AP is Ed Dodds. And that's just because of what this current Raiders locker room has said. It's because if you're going to be the new general manager of the Raiders, right? Think about whatever job that you do. The first day that you step onto the work scene, don't you want everybody that works for you to like you? At least I would imagine that you do. Some people may care, some people don't. But if you decide to go away from Antonio Pierce, that entire Raiders locker room is not going to like you. They're not going to like you. I mean, that's just the way that it is. And the only person, from what I understand, that is willing to go with Harbaugh because that's his guy is Ed Dodds.
Facts.
That's all but facts here. All right, man, we got 850 people watching the Raiders Report right now. I'm going to tell you all who is in our 50-50 raffle, which, if you don't know what it is, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to win a little bit of money. So Zach Martin was the very first person to get in this race. Next person, Justine Gonzalez, you in. Martin Elizondo, yikes, you in. Eugene, in. Alyssa Dar. All right, Alyssa Dar, let's go. Winner for Brian, in. Adro, in. And then I see Luis Rod, you in. Raphael, you in. And I'm going to do this. I have never done it, or I shouldn't say I've never done it. I'm going to put myself in. I'm going in this race. I'm putting my own money in. Let's go. Mitch in. So right now we got 9 people in, which usually 9 people means that you would win $90. Well, here's the thing. Whoever wins this race, you are now going to win $190. I'm adding an extra 100. I mean, we're going to do it at the very, very, very end of today's live show. But as it stands right now, 9 people in, $20 Venmo, you'd have the opportunity to win $190. Let's go to Steve-O. What's up, Steve-O? Hey, Mitch. Raiders! How soon can GM and coach be signed with the new rules? I mean, you can interview. You can do it now.
It can happen right now.
Yeah, I mean, we could literally be live.
It can happen. Wait, Mitch, wait 1 second. It can happen right now.
Right now. I mean, it could. I think what's honestly going to happen is the Raiders might make a decision. Wow.
Raiders just...
Speaking of it, the Giants just hired Carmen Brasillo. I think, honestly, let's film something real quick here and tack that on to news and rumors, highlight, cut, get it out. Is that possible? I know it's going to take somebody out there to do it, but... So Carmen Brasillo just got hired by the Giants.
We'll do a cold open.
Okay.
Just you,
Yep.
L3,
cool.
Talk about it, and then I can make the cut.
Yep.
And then I'll have somebody out there push it.
Cool.
Do you need a new thumbnail and new?
Probably. Yeah, I probably need all that new stuff. All right, y'all. So, again, sometimes shit happens, and, I mean, that's just kind of funny how that happened. That hurts, though. The fact that the Raiders are losing Carmen Brasillo right now, he is going to the New York Giants. That's official. So, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where the Raiders, they can decline. Same job, O-line coach. Yep, Carmen Brasillo is going to the New York Giants. It is officially official. Brasillo going to the Giants to be the offensive line coach. I'm telling y'all right now, and this is one of the things that ticks me off, I think, the most with the nation, is they would always rip on the Raiders' offensive line. The Raiders' offensive line played light years better probably than what it should have, and a Raiders player literally just texted me and said, that's a huge loss. It is a huge loss. Brasillo was regarded as one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, and he is now going to the Giants to be an offensive line coach. Now, I will admit, one of the reasons why Brasillo came to the Raiders because McDaniels, Ziegler, he was a part of that whole regime, right? He was a part of that group. But it's official now. Carmen Brasillo, the Raiders offensive line coach, who has done a phenomenal job with this unit, is leaving to go to the New York Giants to be the offensive line coach for the G-Men. That one hurts a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. That one was a shot to the heart. Carmen Brasillo is spelled Carmenbricillo. Carmen Brasillo going to the Giants. That's devastating. Ah, shit. That's brutal. I mean, Brandon, and you're to blame. No, don't delete that. I saw you just deleted it. It's a great joke. And you're to blame. There you go. I also hope that Detroit wins. I'm not going to lie to you. We'll get into some more questions here in a second. Again, we're trying to cover this breaking news. Yeah, I think might have to switch around the title a little bit. Maybe Carmen Brasillo to Giants, and then figure out everything else. I think put Carmen Brasillo to the Giants in the front, and then wherever we got to cut off, we'll just cut off. But, yes. That one's okay. That's fine. All right, so here's what's going to happen here. Jeremy and I, we're going to film something real quick here on Carmen Brasillo for everybody that's watching this live. Again, appreciate everyone always tuning in. We got 1,000 people tuned in right now to the Raiders Report. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button. It does help out a lot. I think some people right now are hitting that panic button being like, oh no, Carmen Brasillo, he's leaving. That means the Raiders, they're going to be moving on from all their other coaches. No, right? There's a reason why the Raiders declined Patrick Graham to go interview for another DC job, but they didn't decline Carmen Brasillo to go look for another offensive line job. The Raiders are trying to keep a certain core. I do think they should have tried to keep Carmen Brasillo, but at the end of the day, they're going to go in a little bit of a different direction. Is what it is, man. All right, y'all, we got 950 people here watching. I want to know, what is your one-word reaction to Carmen Brasillo leaving the Las Vegas Raiders and now going to coach the New York Giants? If anybody wants to get a question, a comment in, also hashtag Raiders or Super Chat, and we'll get it going. Raider Sancho. Damn. Raiderzilla, damn. Bye from our dog. Trash says junk. Dude, he's far from junk. He's a really, really good coach, man. Vincenzo stings. I agree. Playmaker says no. Bummer from Zalesbo. Brandon Jasper. Money. Cloud sucks. A trader from Alex. We got a damn from Juan Hernandez. Interesting from Matt. We got Ish from Brian Darr. We ready? All right, I'm listening to you. Jeremy's talking to me. Yep. Okay. Let's do it. Raider Nation, Carmen Brasillo is leaving the Las Vegas Raiders to be the offensive line coach of the New York Giants. I know some of y'all are probably freaking out because you think that this means that Antonio Pierce is leaving or Patrick Graham's leaving. There's a reason why the Raiders blocked Patrick Graham for interviewing for a DC job, but they didn't block it for Carmen Brasillo. Brasillo came over here with the New England Patriots. Bottom line is this. It's going to be a big loss. He's one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. But coming up here on the Raiders Report, we got a new GM candidate that just emerged. A lot of NFL news to talk about. Saban, Belichick. We'll get into the latest there. And even more and more Raiders news and updates coming up right now. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So that's going to go on a show here. TJ says, where's Bill in this coach race? Not that I want him, but just to wonder if he's in line now since he parted ways with the Patriots. I'll tell you this right now. He's not coming to the Raiders. I said it before, and maybe you're just tuning in now. You need a proofread. Hey, it's all good. I am the worst proofreader in the game. But I think what the Raiders need to do, though, is if you're Mark Davis, smart man, right? If he's smart, he's going to sit down with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. He should. If you're going to sell part of your team, part of what you own to Tom Brady, okay, which he's going to do, you should bring in Brady and Belichick both, just to talk, relax, all y'all, just to talk and say, why did you create a dynasty? What was that dynasty? Like, how did y'all do it? Because it's Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. That's why that dynasty existed. And you take everything that you can learn from them, and you try to apply that to your team. You're not bringing in Bill to do anything. Bill's washed. Retire him. Let him set off to the sunset. I don't need any more Pats, right? But you should talk to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Conversations are fine. It should happen. That's why I think Belichick is being talked to the Raiders. I know it's been reported. He's not going to be a coach on this team, but he needs to have a conversation. Brady, Mark Davis, Bill Belichick in one room. If Mark was smart, that's what he would do. Oh! See! A Raider! Bang! Spam OC! Spam OC! Sienna says, how many bangs are we at today? A 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 bangs today on the Raiders Report. OC Raider.
Day of bang, miss my true Raider love gave to me.
A partridge in a pear tree?
Raider tree.
A Raider tree. All right, that's a lot better. I don't know. I've banged too much, apparently. Let's go to John Scheffler. You're next up here on the Raiders Report. We got, you can't blame him. He didn't want to wait around to see who the Raiders head coach is going to be, and he might be out of a job. You're exactly right. And Scheffler brings up a really, really good point here. I mean, it's a fact, right? I mean, I see Angel, Arbora, Jared, Oshkosh, Sienna, all spamming OC, but like, you can't blame any human being for taking a job that's guaranteed. I mean, think about it. If they move on and they go in an entirely different coaching direction, if you bring in Harbaugh, if you bring in whoever, they might not keep Carmen Brasillo. Then you're out of a job. Brasillo looked at this as saying, all right, I can guarantee my spot an opportunity. I can guarantee myself a job. I'm not going to fault a man for doing that, but it definitely stings a little bit. It definitely stings a little bit. So just something to keep in mind. Also, I see some people asking whether or not we get a comp pick, and the answer to that is no. The Raiders do not get a comp pick for Carmen Brasillo. The only way that you get a comp pick anymore is if it's a minority candidate that gets a head coach or general manager job. So Carmen Brasillo, offensive line, also not a minority candidate. Scheffler, cheers. Also OC, cheers to you. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I needed that. Bounce me back a little bit. My next one's rolling in here from Harbaugh. What's up, man? Mitch, if AP takes the Titans job, would the Raiders get comp picks? Yes. Yes, they would. I believe if AP takes the job, it's also 2 third-round comp picks. However, I believe it's in 2024 and in 2025, where if Kelly gets it, I believe they're both this year. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I know that you get 2 third comp picks if AP gets the job with Tennessee, which, this is like the other conversation, that I do think that needs to be had with a lot of people that watch the show or Raider Nation in general. I don't really think, I shouldn't say, how should I frame this? I want AP back. I want Champ Kelly back. I want Patrick Graham back. I think what the Raiders were able to do this season, after dealing with all the BS and all the shit that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler did to this roster to still have a winning record and beat, the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers. I mean, what more could you possibly ask for an interim head coach to go 3-1 against the AFC West, right? But the other part of this is if you bring in a guy like Jim Harbaugh, if you bring in a guy like Ed Dodds, Champ Kelly's going to get another job somewhere in the NFL as GM. I'm pretty confident in that. And I think, honestly, man, I think Antonio Pierce might get a shot too. I mean, in a world where you bring in Harbaugh, you bring in Dodds, and then you get 4 extra third-round picks. 4 extra third-round picks that you give to Harbaugh, that you give to Dodds. Like, that does need to be a part of the conversation of whether or not people want Harbaugh to come here. And I know there's a lot of times that people don't know that. But it should be put into the conversation. We'll see, though. Carmen Russillo was a tough loss. I did not really anticipate that he was going to be coming back. I will admit he was one of the coaches that I did want to see come back. My biggest reaction from this is, honestly, it's probably the Raiders have 3 free agents that are offensive linemen. So the Raiders starting O-line this year was Colt Miller at left tackle. At left guard, Dylan Parham. At center was Andre James. Right guard, Greg Van Roten. Right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor. Andre James, Greg Van Roten, Jermaine Illuminor are all free agents. I don't know now if, originally I was hoping that potentially you'd try to bring back a Jermaine Illuminor, which Jermaine's my guy. You all know that. I don't know if that's going to happen now because Jermaine and Carmen were super, super close. Andre James probably has a better shot now at coming back than a guy like Jermaine. So now, to me, if you're going to look at that offensive line, you probably only bring back one of those guys, and that's at the absolute most. We'll see what ends up happening here for the Raiders. Let's go to the next Super Chat, though. Yeah, I know. It's really slow right now. We'll go to the next one here in just a second. TJ, I need to proofread. All good. I answered that one. Alex, the idea of facing Peyton Reed and potentially Harbaugh is every year is concerning. We can't let Jim Harbaugh go to the Chargers. I don't want Harbaugh to go to the Chargers either. And, if you're Harbaugh, you get an opportunity to work with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in Justin Herbert. I get the fact that they've been a very underwhelming team, and I think Herbert has all the talent in the world, but I do think he's going to start falling into this category of he might not be a leader, right? He just might not be a leader, and that's got to be a trait that an NFL team has to look at. If you look at athletic ability, Herbert's got all the athletic ability in the world, but maybe he's not a good team leader. Maybe when you're in that huddle and you need that touchdown, 2 minutes left to go, he's in that huddle. I don't know what it looks like in that huddle, and he's shitting bricks, right? One of the reasons why I was always so out on DC was because, to me, he was never somebody that could rally a team to win a bunch of games. And the defense was bad. It is what it is. I don't want to get into a DC conversation. But, that's what Herbert could end up being. But if you're Jim Harbaugh, man, the Bears, they're sticking with Matt Eberflus. If I'm Harbaugh, I'm looking at a few jobs. And the number one jobs I'm looking at are the Raiders, and I'm looking at the Chargers. Now, he might have to look at the Commanders' job. Maybe gets an opportunity there. I mean, he's going to get a lot of coverage if he's working for the Commanders because of the division that they play in. But man, oh man, I do not want Harbaugh to go to the Chargers. I'll tell you that right now. What's up, Miggy? It's been a minute. Mitch, Chugs, and Raiders fam, cheers. Much love to the nation. Much love to you, Miggy. It's always good to see you on here, brother. Though, I'm not gonna lie. You got a tough picture right now. I miss your face. I miss your musk. I miss the way you smell. Name the movie. Michael, are there any candidates that stand out to take over that offensive line job? I will say this is a great question. Unfortunately, I can't give you an answer, right? Like, I can't give you an answer to this question for the simple fact of whoever the head coach is, whoever the GM is, they're going to go with their guy. And until we have those answers, I mean, it's going to be a domino effect where Raiders hire a GM. Okay, now we know who the GM is. Well, now we know who the head coach is. Okay, well, now we're going to know who the OC potentially is, and then the DC, like, you can figure it out or at least put candidates out there. Okay, they hired this guy as the head coach OC. Well, this means they might try to bring this guy in as offensive line coach. I can't really give you an answer on who the O-line coach is because there are so many names to throw out there, and it would literally just be me throwing spaghetti at a wall, seeing what sticks type of thing. I don't really want to do that to you. We got to figure out GM, head coach, OC, and then we'll be able to try to piece some pieces together of who's going to be the O-line coach. What up, TJ? You're next up here on the Raiders Report. I like to believe we, as working men and women, are always sold to the highest bidder. I myself would take for sure money over possible money all day, every day. Do you agree?
Classic 1 in the hand, 2 in the bush.
I guess it depends on what your life situation is. Where, I'll tell you this right now, if I would have been 24, 25 years old like I was a few years ago, I probably would have said no to this because I would have known my mom, my dad would have had my back, my family would have had my back, and I probably would have taken a career chance like I did. I mean, coming to Chat Sports was a life change for me. I came down to Dallas, put everything in my little Pontiac 2005 Sunfire, drove down here, and I took a chance, right? And I didn't know what it was going to be. I mean, none of us knew what it was going to be. Where now,
I didn't even know what it was going to be.
Well, now, I got bigger responsibilities. And I'll tell you this, if I was married, which I'm basically married, but if I had kids, yes, in a heartbeat. If I had bigger responsibilities, now Chuck's probably watching the show like, really? But if I had bigger responsibilities besides me, yes, I will take guaranteed money over potential money every day of the week. I think this depends more on what situation you're in life. Let's go to Mask 80, today's MVP so far. The best coaches learn under big names. HJ has all the name. Does he mean Jim Harbaugh? He just flipped him? Because I'm trying to think. I'm like, who's HJ? I've never heard of a coach HJ.
I usually call him an old-fashioned, but whatever you want to call it.
Dude, I'll tell you this right now. Nobody likes an HJ. Has all the name AP. Has all the hype. I still think if anyone could make this happen, it's Mark Davis, Jim Harbaugh, and Antonio Pierce. Harbaugh, I mean, here's the problem, man. I don't think AP's coach underneath Harbaugh. A very intriguing thing would be, imagine you bring in Harbaugh, right? You bring in Harbaugh, and Antonio Pierce says, okay, I'll be assistant head coach, or okay, I'll be defensive coordinator. If you told me right now, Mitch, and I mean in an unrealistic Bigfoot unicorns type of world where they're just roaming around.
Mitch, please.
You bring in Jim Harbaugh as your head coach. You keep Antonio Pierce as your assistant head coach. You roll with Patrick Graham as your defensive coordinator. I just don't think that world exists. I don't think the world exists. Maybe in another life. Maybe in another world, but on Earth right now in 2024, that's not gonna be it. Eddie Rodriguez says HJ might mean Hugh Jackson. If this means Hugh Jackson, we're gonna ban Mask 80 right now from the chat because I'm not bringing in Hugh Jackson to the Raiders. Mask, it's all love, but if you're talking Hugh Jackson right now, you got to be cut off, man. I know you said you don't drink, but somebody cut this guy off. Somebody just. It was supposed to be JH. Okay. Say if we're up here banging for Hugh Jackson, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore, man. I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. It's all good. It's all good. No, some of you are laughing. You guys crack me up. All right, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Let me know down below. It's time to look into that crystal ball of yours. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I also got to say that the last person in for our 50-50 raffle was the Great Tuna. I'm going to put in Matthew Lozano. Matthew Lozano, you in. So right now we have 11 people, which means the winner would get $110. But wait, Mitch, you're going to add an extra 100. 210. So here's what I'm going to do. I want the race to be kind of fun. You want to have a little bit of fun here with me, Chugs?
Are we still talking about the race?
Oh, we're always talking about the race. Here's what I want to do. Since Mask has been such a legend.
I changed the question on you. Who's going to win on Saturday? Texans or Browns? Because I'm going to be live on our Texans channel for this game.
He is.
Against stinky Matthew Peterson and those stinky Browns.
Petey's got a little grin on his face right now. That kind of looks like
It's a shit grin.
He likes to party. I mean, I'll tell you this. I just want a good game. I want, if the Texans win, it's got to be a good game. If the Browns win, it's got to be a good game.
Who's going to join me on Saturday for this live show?
Maybe a better question. Who's a better quarterback, Mason Rudolph or Joe Flacco? Because that has almost forced fisticuffs here at this office.
Austin said Browns by 14. Type me if you're going to join me on Saturday. I'll be live. I'm trying to get into the hosting thing. I'm trying to get my Mitchell Renz on a little bit. I'm talking about hosting. But if you're going to join me on Saturday, it'll be like the pregame to the Raiders live for Chiefs Dolphins. If you're going to join me on Saturday, type me down in the comment section right now. I see Tadashi, Brian, Blue Richards, Raider Sancho, TJ Parkinson.
Ryan Campbell, you in? You in, Mr. Ryan Campbell. Yeah, I can't wait for this game. Austin says, I will join you, Chugs. And then I'm going to be live for the other game there on Saturday, Dolphins-Chiefs, which that's the game I can't wait for.
Oshkosh says, let's go Cleveland.
Hey, put your money where your mouth is. Houston, here's the problem. I think both of these teams, I really wish that neither of them played each other because from the AFC side, these are the two teams that I wanted to make the furthest.
Yeah.
Like, the Ravens, I don't really care about. The Bills, whatever. Chiefs, FKC. The 4-seed Texans, they've been bad for so long, I'd root for them. The Browns are the Browns. Like, if you root against Cleveland, I get your situation. How can you root against Cleveland? I mean, all the other teams, though.
It's
Dolphins,
really easy.
Don't care.
I've been doing it all week.
All week, sure. I mean, but these are the two teams that I probably would have rooted for the most.
But I thought you were the biggest Joe Flacco hater.
I do not like Joe Flacco. I mean, however, though, I didn't like Joe Flacco because he had one good Super Bowl run, and then he got this massive paycheck, and everybody thought he was this elite quarterback. Real got to recognize real. What Joe Flacco is doing right now is, I think Joe Flacco deserves to win Comeback Player of the Year. I mean, tell me I'm wrong on that.
It's going to DeMar Hamlin.
Probably, sure, for whatever reason. But I just don't see for what Flacco has been able to do for that Browns team. He should probably win Comeback Player of the Year. I mean, he's been unbelievable. Some people look at interceptions, but sometimes you just got to watch the football game and see what he's doing for that team. He's been great. All right, y'all, we got 810 people watching right now. Jeremy, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I got to take a pee. I got to pee really, really bad. So if you could, can you hop up on screen right now? When I get back, I'm going to change my jersey. I'm also going to get into our second segment here on the Raiders Report. And then we're going to get into some GM talk. And then we're going to do something that we've never done on the show that I'm not going to lie, I can't wait to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of duck races. Chugs, take it away.
Here we go. Let me know if you're going to join me this Saturday, Texans, Browns. Steve O, Chugs, you missed me. Dang straight I missed you. Let me know, though. Oh, Venom Sosa. What's up? But if you're like, oh, y'all are just going for Browns, Texans, like not any other playoff games, well, you're wrong. Because we're going live here at Chat Sports on our main channel, our team channels, whatever you say, we're going live for every single playoff game this postseason. Let me say that one more time. Every single playoff game, a Chat Sports entity will be live for that game. So you're asking yourself, Dolphins, Chiefs? Well, of course, Mitch is going to be live for that game as well as our Dolphins and Chiefs game, our Chiefs channel. What about Steelers, Bills? Is anybody going to be live for that? You bet your bottom dollar somebody's going to be live for that. Our Steelers channel and our main channel are going to be live for that. And let me know who you got in these different matchups. What about Cowboys, Packers? Well, yes, our Cowboys channel is going to be live, and our main Chat Sports channel is going to be live. What about Rams and Lions? Well, this is the only one. Just kidding. It is not the only one. We'll be live for this one as well. Our Lions channel and our main channel.
And our Rams channel.
And wait, really?
Build it up, baby. Let's go.
I don't know. Maybe DK's the host. DK Ram. You never know. We'll be live for this game as well. And Eagles, Bucks, the Monday night matchup, we'll be live for that game as well. So for whatever tickles your fancy, we will be live. But let's go back to this one right here. Honest answers only. Honest answers only on this one. Who you got, Dolphins or Chiefs? It's supposed to be negative 30 in Kansas City for the wind chill. Who you got in this matchup? Steve-O. What's good? Oh. You know what? That's on me. That's on me, Steve-O. I didn't look up. TJ, I see your point. Good answer. I have kids, so the shoe fits. Raiders forever. And then Steve-O. Hey, Chugs. Raiders. GM Champ Kelly. Head coach AP. DC Patrick Graham. OC Kellen Moore. Interesting. Really close to what Mitch has. He has OC. His dream OC would be Clint Kubiak. Fun fact, my mom married to Clint Kubiak's cousin. Her legal last name is Kubiak right now. So if he gets hired by the Raiders, maybe we get an interview going there. But I don't actually hate the idea of Kellen Moore. He did well with his time in Dallas. I don't know. I'm up in the air on that one. I like GM, head coach, DC. I like keeping the continuity there. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, that's really interesting. Maybe Mitch needs to do an updated OC candidates list. Maybe we wait until the head coach gets hired. We'll see. I like the idea, though, Steve-O. Appreciate the super chat. Sorry it took me so long to get to it. That's on me. Alex, Carmen Brasillo to the Giants. Am I late? Yes. We broke it down earlier in the program. Carmen Brasillo moving over to the Giants coaching staff. He will be their offensive line coach going into next year, which much needed because the Giants have spent a lot of draft capital on their offensive line, and it's been PU. It's been really bad. Chugs Kubiak. My last name is not Kubiak, but my mom's last name now is Kubiak. Fun fact. F the Chiefs. Hate Kermit Mahomes. I mean, hate. I get it. Shout out to Jace for getting out that Raiders cut. 2 claps for Jace. Thank you, man. FKC every day from Taino. Let's go to this next matchup because Mitch is really having to take a piss right now. Steelers or Bills? I don't see a world where the Bills lose this game, to be honest. I don't see a world where the Bills lose this game. But what say you? Do you have the Bills winning or do you have the Steelers winning in this matchup? Ryan DeKing says Bills Mafia. Nico, hate. I hate you. Double hate you. Bills by 20 from Austin. Tuna from John Scheffler. It is 2 o'clock, and we did get a super chat from Mount Rushmore, Brandon Jasper. Rules are rules, Mitch. Rules are the rules. And they're there for a reason. I am a Josh Allen fan. I'll root for Buffalo. What does a hot dog wear? What does a hot dog wear as protection, Chugs? I don't know. Ryan Campbell, what does a hot dog wear for protection? You're going to have to get the fireball. Yeah. TJ Watt is out in this game as well. I root for Hennessy shots. The anticipation's killing me, Ryan Campbell. I need to know what a hot dog wears for protection. Let me know. 'Cause I'm stumped. David Zahn said TJ Watt's out. Give me the Bills. Yeah, I think that's kind of the nail in the coffin for me of choosing the Bills in this game. TJ Watt's out. Oh, Steven, that's a good one. A condiment.
DK laughed.
Our new Rams host thought that was hilarious.
Oh, man. All right, I'm back, y'all. Sorry. Had to take a wicked leak. Wicked leak. What up, Sheffy? Shot. Michigan rules are rules. Rules are rules. I think that's exactly what it says. Cheers to Jasper. Cheers to Mr. Chef. Whew. All right, one more. Oh, man. All right, y'all. So basically what's going to happen here on today's show is this. We're going to get into me ranking all the Raiders general manager candidates as it stands right now. So the Raiders have requested interview 7. They've already interviewed some from what I understand. They're going to interview 2 tomorrow. But what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to rank for all of y'all the candidates that I want for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to rank them from worst to best. Okay, that's going to be coming up here. And then I'm going to be getting into a segment, something that, honestly, man, we've never done before. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. We're going to do an NFL prediction show, okay? NFL playoff predictions. I'm going to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. I got a little bit of help. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Got a little bit of help, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be dope. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it. All right, y'all. Chugs had to step out real quick, take a leak. So if you guys want to shout out here on the Raiders Report, let me know who you got in this game, Dallas or Green Bay. For those that do not know, my fiance, big-time Cowboys fan. I know. But I want to give some shout-outs here to the people that are watching right now. Juan Hernandez is going to be going with Green Bay. King Zay going to go with the Packers. Lay, Dallas Cowboys. Mikey, Packers. El Loco, Packers. Are you just saying that because you want the Packers to win, or do you legitimately think the Packers are going to win this game? I see Sienna's going to go with the Cowboys. Fayez is going to go with the Cowboys. What up, Fayez? Nick McBride. Mitch, I would like to see the Lions win it all. I do not want the Chiefs playing in a Super Bowl in our house. Could not agree more with you. I'll tell you this right now. I don't care who wins the Super Bowl as long as it's not the Chiefs. For the Chiefs to lift a Lombardi trophy in Allegiant Stadium, dude, that would piss me off. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that would really grind my gears. So to me, I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier, which is why I got the idea of the segment that I'm going to do today. And I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, who's like the number one team that you want to win the Super Bowl this year? He said Lions, and I'm the exact same way. I want the Lions to win the Super Bowl because it's the freaking Lions. Wild one. KC versus Dolphins. Tell Mitch, don't forget the suit. Unfortunately, well, they need the suit. They do. I mean, they do. Wild one. So here's the thing. Our Dolphins channel also needs the suit. I mean, they're literally out there. They're showing 500. They're out there. So, I mean, our Dolphins channel is also going to be live for the game, Wild One, so I'll make you a deal. You send in a $500 Venmo right now. I'll wear the Dolphin suit. Take it from them. All right. I'll take it from them, Wild One. There you go. I mean, it's like their thing. Like, they wear a Dolphin suit. Our Dolphins channel wears a Dolphin suit on their stream. That'd be like
it's like somebody taking the gong.
It'd be like, yeah, somebody taking the gong or somebody stealing a Raiders jersey from me. I'd be a little salty about it. I'm not going to lie. I'd be a little bit salty about it. All right, so here coming up on the show is going to be our next segment here on the Raiders Report. So what I want to try to do today is I want to go through and I want to look at all the GMs. I'm going to rank them for you. I'm going to tell you why certain guys are ranked higher than others. But at the bottom line, my job here on this show is to give you guys my honest opinion and give you what I think is best for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't do this to make players happy. I don't do this to make AP happy. I don't do it to make Champ Kelly happy. I do it to give you my honest opinion. And what you're going to see is my honest opinion on all the Raiders GM candidates here on this show. So right now we got 700 people watching. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button. And please stick around because after this segment, we're about to have a lot of fun. We've already been having a lot of fun. Let's not get it twisted. Mask, OC, y'all been wilding out. David's on. I mean, it's insane what you guys do. But we're about to have a lot of fun on the show. I'm just telling you that right now. Let's go to my man, Chef. I don't care what anybody says. I do not want to see the Niners lift the trophy in our house. All right, Chef, you got me there. As long as it's not the 49ers, like this is honest to God, right? I would say the teams, and if I had to rank them, that I do not want to win the Super Bowl, Chiefs number 1, number 2 Niners, number 3 Cowboys. Is that fair to say? Number 1 Chiefs, number 2 Niners, number 3 Cowboys. Like, I can't have Alex. I can't have Alex with a Cowboys Super Bowl win. Especially in Allegiant Stadium. I got to find a new fiance if that happens. I can't go home if that happens. I think that's fair. El Loco says that's 100% fair. Is that 1 Chiefs, 2 Niners, 3 Cowboys. Besides that, I don't give a shit. Anybody can win. I literally don't care. Anybody can win as long as it's not those. Yep, Miguel, you got it. You got it. All right, Chugs, let's get into our next segment coming up here on the show. I'm going to rank all of our GM candidates. Let me get a quick little hydration going though real quick here. Give me 1 sec. All right. Scheffler says his number 1. Oh, he said a disappearing act. His number 1 is Niners. Well, Chef, you must be from out in the Bay. So you would rather the Chiefs win a Super Bowl than the 49ers. That's surprising to me. Who would you guys rather win? Okay, if it's Chiefs, Niners in a Super Bowl, which I know. Let's hope. Knock on wood? Like actually? Like would you knock on wood or you wouldn't knock on wood there? Who would you rather win a Super Bowl? Chiefs, Niners. I'd probably root for the Niners. I don't want the Chiefs to win. Not in Allegiant Stadium. Or can they tie? Can you tie in a Super Bowl? No, I know you can't. All right, coming up here, let's get into it. Raiders general managers. They can hear you, right? Oh, you can say it. All right, we're getting to the next segment. Jeremy said, hopefully the world ends if that ends up happening. Coming up, let's talk a little Raiders GM candidates for 2024. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. And coming up here on today's show, I am going to rank every single Raiders GM candidate that has a probability, has an opportunity to be, let's start over. I know. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to think of what I wanted to say exactly, and sometimes that's going to happen when we're live. That's on me. Throw the tomatoes. Throw the tomatoes.
When the boot hits.
I mean, seriously, when the boots hit, when the shots hit, when everything starts to hit. Tomato, 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 tomato. All right. I'm ready. Let's reset. I know. Sienna King, y'all are laughing at me. All right, you ready? Coming up right now. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And coming up on today's show, I am going to rank every single Raiders GM candidate. I'm going to go from 7 down to 1. Now, friendly reminder, I am recording this video on Thursday. And if any other candidates come out, I'll see what I can do here in terms of updating this list. But the bottom line is, the Las Vegas Raiders are looking for a new GM. My job up here is not to make friends with players, not to make friends with staffers. It is to give my honest opinion to the nation of who I believe is the best candidate to be the GM of the Las Vegas Raiders, which I will get into. But as soon as the Silver and Black do decide to name a GM, as soon as they put out, hey, this guy's going to be the general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm going live. We're going to party. We're going to celebrate it because I do think it's going to be a very, very good hire. I think it is important to note out there for a lot of people, and let's face it, if you're a Raider fan, you've ripped on Mark Davis once or twice. If you haven't, then maybe you haven't followed this team long enough. But this is important because Davis, in a lot of other years, I don't think has done the smart thing. I think he's always tried to find the big whale. He's gone for the big name. This time, he is going to hire the GM, and then he is going to hire a head coach. That is what smart organizations do. So hopefully, Mark goes with the right decision here in terms of GM. Now, before I get into my top 7, I do want to get into the it ain't happening list, because it ain't happening list. We're not bringing in Saban. We're not going to bring over Pete Carroll. Stop with the Bill Belichick nonsense. Louis Riddick is probably the most realistic name on here. It ain't happening. Tom Brady, not going to be the Raiders GM. So let's just get this out of the way, because I know when I make this video, people are going to ask me, should the Raiders bring these people in to be general manager? It ain't happening, so don't ask me. As it stands right now, here is the Raiders GM tracker. Champ Kelly, Trey Brown, Terrence Gray, Ed Dodds, Adam Peters, Tom Telesco, Kelly Klein, Van Callaghan. And as it stands, you got 7 GM candidates. Friendly reminder, this video is filmed on January 11th, and if any other candidates come out, I will say this. I will update the pinned comment. What is the pinned comment? The pinned comment is the very top comment on this YouTube video. So if I record this video and then late Thursday night, early Friday morning, some other candidate comes out, I will update the pinned comment with my brand new ranking for the Raiders GM list. Make sense? Hopefully it does. Speaking of the pinned comment, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Who do you think will be the Raiders GM this season? Who do you think it's going to be? Look into your crystal balls. Look into them right now. What is it saying to you? You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. I want you to scroll on down. Believe it or not, it helps me out when you let the ad play. So let me know who you think is going to be the Raiders GM. For me personally, the name that you see at number 1 is not who I think it's going to be, but the person that I want most as the Raiders GM in 2024. All right, let's get into it now. Number 7 on my list. It is Tom Telesco, former GM of the Los Angeles and San Diego Chargers. Telesco was the Chargers GM from 2013 to 2023. He was fired this season, and they tried to clear house. I will admit, Telesco built a lot of very talented rosters with the Chargers, but they always underperform. And the way that I think is the best way to describe what Telesco tried to do in Los Angeles and in San Diego, it was almost like he was running the Madden team, right? Where it was like, all right, let's try to build the best team on paper, where, all right, I can bring in all these big-name guys. I'll try to put all these guys on one team. But it just didn't work out because they were built for different schemes. They were built for different coaches. They weren't built to fit what the Chargers were going to do. Bottom line is this. The NFL is a team sport. And if you're going to keep Antonio Pierce and you're going to keep Patrick Graham, a team that's predicated on being a team, you know what I'm talking about, like a close, tight group in that locker room, bringing in Tom Telesco is not the right answer for the Silver and Black. Let's go to number 6 here on my list for Raiders GM candidate rankings. Kelly Klein Van Callaghan. She was an executive, is an executive for the Denver Broncos. And before all y'all are like, I don't want to bring in any Denver Broncos people, I actually don't agree with that statement. Wouldn't you want to, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer? And Kelly's going to be able to come on in and really be able to give you an inside scoop of a lot of the things that the Broncos have been doing. So the past 3 seasons with Denver as executive director of football operations, special advisor to the GM. She has 12 years of NFL experience, well trusted and respected for her cap management skills and her drafting skills. Like, this isn't just somebody who's a woman in the NFL. No, she has earned her stripes. She has worked her way up. And when you're the right-hand woman to the GM, that speaks volumes. Like, she is very, very well respected. And I'm not a numbers guy, right? I'm not going to sit up here and try to explain how cap numbers work, all this. But when you're the Denver Broncos and you have enough confidence in your team to be able to cut a quarterback that you gave essentially 7 years, $296 million, and you believe that they're going to be able to, move money around, manipulate the salary cap to get you in a good spot, that's confidence in the people that work for you. So let's get it one thing straight. It's Tom Telesco is the one name that I do not want. If the Raiders ended up hiring Kelly Klein Van Callaghan, I'd be okay with it. I think there's other candidates out there that the Raiders could do. But, this is not a bad hire by the Raiders. I got 5 more names coming up here on today's show, but our sponsor is Mando. And if you're a guy out there, the part of being a Raider fan, part of watching this Raider Sports show is about honesty. How many people sweat a lot? I sweat when I eat. I'm sweating right now. I think one of the biggest pet peeves my fiance Alex has with me is I sweat a lot, man. I do. When we do date night, it's always, what do the pits look like, right? If you're like me, I check my phone, I check my wallet, I check my armpits. That's legitimately what I do. So I was super, super excited when we got our brand new sponsor here. So how many times have you heard someone say, new year, new me? Now, how many times have you heard someone say, new year, no stink? That is what Mando is all about. From the makers of Vloom deodorant, Mando is here to make sure 2024 is the year you showcase your best hygiene. If you suffer from stinky feet, which I do, pits, or below the belt, then Mando's doctor-developed and clinically proven odor blocker is worth giving a shot. And new customers can get $5 off the starter pack at shopmando.com with promo code CHAT. You don't want to smell like the smelly guy at work that doesn't believe in deodorant, so ditch that stink and get with Mando today. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream, tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I got a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. So use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. And I don't think it's a problem to admit that maybe you sweat a lot. I'm a man. I'm not 40. I'm 30. But I do. I sweat a lot. And I think what's really important here is to be able to show that I found a product that works for me. When I used to go to the store, I used to always buy the over-the-counter, which basically cost the clinical deodorant that cost $13, $14, $15 something dollars. Now, with Mando, with our link here, and with our code, you're going to not stink, which I think is an AA plus there. So again, y'all, this link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description. Shout out to Mando for hooking up Raider Nation. Let's go to number 5 here on my list. It is Terrence Gray, the Director of Player Personnel for the Buffalo Bills. I have a high school buddy of mine. He is on the Buffalo Bills staff. He works as a scout, and he told me as soon as the Raiders requested to interview Terrence Gray, he told me, bro, I'm telling you right now, Raider Nation would love Gray, and the players would love him. He's a really good people person, has done a lot of solid things with the Bills, 22 years of NFL experience, and joined Buffalo back in 2017, and has worked his way up. He spent 11 seasons with the Vikings as a college scout, so he has experience in the NFL realm. He also has experience as a college scout. I'm telling y'all right now, whoever the next Raiders general manager is, I want somebody that has experience and has knowledge in being able to recognize talent at the college football level, because Mike Mayock and John Gruden, the reason why I laugh out loud why people want John Gruden back is because Mike Mayock and John Gruden, they're going to go down in the history books as the worst general manager, head coaching duo in terms of recognizing college talent. Yeah, you were able to find Max Crosby. Congratulations. Max was going to be a dog no matter where he was going to go. But my point is, Terrence Gray's background and the way he connects with players and his staff speaks volumes. Here is where I think Raider Nation's probably going to get mad at me. Coming in here at number 4 for my Raiders GM candidate rankings, it's Champ Kelly, interim general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, I am telling y'all right now, there are 3 other GMs that I would rather have over Kelly. And it's not taking anything away from him and what he has done. If the Raiders end up keeping Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly, I'll be okay with it. Like, I'm okay with it, no problem. But the other reason why, if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders right now, I believe Kelly could potentially get a job elsewhere. You move on from him, and if he ends up getting hired somewhere else, then you're going to get 2 third-round comp picks, okay? And he's been working as an executive in the NFL since 2008, highly regarded in the scouting department, and joined the Raiders in 2022 as the assistant GM. But here's my honest take on this, right? Kelly has had a lot of opportunities, and he's been with a lot of NFL teams. And a lot of the NFL teams that Kelly has been a part of, this is me being honest with you, they have not done a good job in the NFL draft. They haven't. And what I really want the Raiders to be able to do here is hit the mark on QB. Unfortunately, the teams that Kelly has been a part of have oftentimes missed on a quarterback. He's done a good job in a lot of other areas. He absolutely has done a good job in a lot of other areas. But the teams that he's been a part of have swung and missed at the QB position. So right now in this Raiders offseason, you got to be able to find yourself a brand new quarterback. You got to be able to find yourself a franchise QB. It's not that I don't like Champ Kelly. It's just bottom line is this. There are better candidates out there interviewing for the Raiders GM job. Let's go to number 3 here on my list. It is Trey Brown, Senior Personnel Executive. And Senior Personnel Executive Trey Brown is probably one of my favorite candidates on this list. And this is just, again, more of me speaking volumes of the awesome candidates that the Raiders have interviewing right now for GM. He's in his 3rd season with the Bengals and his 2nd season as Senior Personnel Executive. He interviewed for the Raiders GM job back in 2019 and 2022. At age 38, he would be the 3rd youngest GM in the National Football League. But the other reason why I want to bring in Trey Brown is because, you're bringing in this new GM. You're trying to build something special here for the Raiders, right? You're trying to get that Lombardi trophy. You're trying to build a great team. Every team's trying to build a dynasty. And I'm not trying to sit up here and compare XFL to the NFL. What I am going to compare, though, is imagine how difficult it is for you to build a team around players that there's not as much tape on. There's not as much notes on. There's not as much information out there, and that's what the XFL is. And he was in a GM-like role with the Birmingham Iron back in 2019. He was in a GM-like role with the St. Louis Battlehawks in 2020. Well, guess what? Before both of those seasons ended because they flopped in terms of not being able to get enough money together, Birmingham Iron were in 1st place. St. Louis Battlehawks in 1st place. He is one of the youngest, most highly regarded people in the NFL in terms of being able to look at a player, see if they're going to be good or not. He is a great talent evaluator at the college level. For that reason, I would rather have Trey Brown as GM of the Las Vegas Raiders over Champ Kelly. Let's go to number 2 here on my list. It's Ed Dodds. And a few years ago, Dodds was number 1 on my list. I wanted Dodds back on the, no, I shouldn't say back. I wanted kind of back on the Raiders. Dodds started with Jim Harbaugh back in 2003. And if anybody out there that's watching this video right now wants Jim Harbaugh to be the Las Vegas Raiders head coach, you want them to hire Ed Dodds first, because I'm telling y'all right now, if Dodds is hired to be the GM of the Silver and Black, get ready. Harbaugh's coming on down. Dodds interviewed with the Raiders back in 2022 and, was considered by many. I mean, I can still remember the report that Vic Tafur put out, that Vincent Bonsignore put out, that Tashawn Reed put out, that all the Raiders beat reporters put out that Ed Dodds is going to get the job. And then guess what? He didn't get the job. It was very well reported. I mean, it was spread out there far and wide. I had sources telling me that Dodds is going to get the job too. And then Mark Davis started getting his word in a different ear and decided to go Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels direction. My point is this. Ed Dodds was like, imagine in a duck race, Raiders report style here. Your duck is leading the race, and at the final second, somebody just comes in at the very, very end, and they take the lead and they get it from you. That's how close Dodds was to being the GM. And the fact that he was that close before, and the fact that he has the connections that he does with Harbaugh, on top of all that, he is a brilliant mind at GM. He has been Chris Ballard's right-hand man since 2017, and you could say what you want about Indianapolis. Indy's done a phenomenal job at talent evaluation. I mean, look at the Colts this season. You look at the Colts roster this year, I get it. They didn't make the playoffs. But on paper, without the quarterback that they drafted at number 4 overall, on paper, the Colts might have a bottom 6 roster. and they were a 9-8 football team to me. Over 20 years of NFL experience, Ed Dodds would be a slam dunk move at GM. However, on the video that I put out earlier in the week, the video that I put out on my perfect offseason, the guy that I want the most to be the Raiders GM is Adam Peters, assistant GM of the San Francisco 49ers. Not only is he a great talent evaluator, not only does he have experience in the college and the NFL game, not only has he worked with great NFL organizations, he is a stand-up dude. The Washington Commanders, they interviewed Peters on Thursday, and one of the biggest notes away from that was he was an outstanding human being. You listen to a lot of 49ers players when they talk about Adam Peters, outstanding human being, and I think he'd be a great pair with Antonio Pierce. 21 years of NFL experience, has been the 49ers assistant GM for 3 seasons, and he is a very highly regarded skill evaluator that's been on successful teams. The Patriots, when they won a bunch of Super Bowls. The Denver Broncos. This is the guy. He was a part of a regime that cleaned up the mess that Josh McDaniels left behind. And then, I get it, they had Peyton Manning, but they won a Super Bowl. Then in San Francisco, like what the 49ers have been able to do with, let's be real here, good to mediocre quarterback play. Brock Purdy's done a hell of a job. Let's not get it twisted. But what the Niners have been able to do in terms of building a team when essentially you threw away 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance is pretty remarkable. And if I'm the new GM, if I'm Mark Davis, I'm trying to bring in somebody like Adam Peters, who's cleaned up McDaniels' mess before, that has been able to handle bad first-round picks in years past. Adam Peters is the best candidate interviewing for the Las Vegas Raiders job, and if he's the GM, I hope y'all are ready to party. So here is my Raiders GM candidate rankings on this show. At number 7, it's Tom Telesco. Coming in here at number 6, Kelly Klein Van Callaghan. Number 5, Terrence Gray from the Bills. Number 4, the current interim GM, Champ Kelly. He's number 4 on my list. Trey Brown, Ed Dodds, Adam Peters. As it stands right now, the Las Vegas Raiders have 7 GM candidates that they have either asked to interview, will interview, or are going to interview in 2024. Bottom line, 6 out of those 7 I'd be happy about. The only name that I'd be a little bit upset about is Tom Telesco. All the other ones, I feel like we're moving in a good direction. Realistically, though, I want from Champ Kelly all the way down for the Las Vegas Raiders. For more news and updates here around the Silver and Black, make sure you guys follow me on social media at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, Mr. Chugs, dark horse to win the Super Bowl. You might even say dark duck to win the Super Bowl. Coming up here on the show, something we've never done before. I do got to change my jersey here, though, real quick.
Dead Raider said, are you kidding me? He drafted Josh Jacobs, Colton Miller, and Amik. John Gruden was amazing. He also drafted Henry Ruggs.
Damon Arnett. Alex
Leatherwood.
I mean, it was... they didn't draft. They did draft Leatherwood. I mean, it was... You got to think about...
Cleveland Ferrell.
I mean, guys... The Raiders under Mike Mayock, John Gruden, are going to go down in history as the worst talent evaluators
If you
ever.
think John Gruden is a good drafter, you also think McDonald's is fine dining.
I mean, Cleveland Ferrell.
No taste.
Jacobs is a good running back. I'm not taking a running back in round 1. So Jonathan Abram, Trayvon Mullen, Brian Edwards, Lynn Bowden Jr., traded up for Tanner Muse.
Just tell me you don't know ball.
Yeah, I actually can't the only good picks that the Raiders made, Max Crosby, Amik Robertson was a good pick, Hunter Renfrow, Nate Hobbs.
R-Dog, you're saying Ruggs was exceptional. You had CeeDee Lamb on the board, who's maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Ruggs would have trended in the right direction, which I agree with you on that. However, if I'm running that Raiders war room, there's no way in hell I'm taking Henry Ruggs over CeeDee Lamb, right? And there's a lot of people that could say even more jokes because he's not even the best receiver in that year's draft.
If you think that they were good drafters, you're either high or crazy.
Does anybody think, why for yes and for no, that John Gruden and Mike Mayock did a good job drafting? Why for yes and for no? Please let me know down below.
I want to know who knows ball and who doesn't. If you're typing your why, you don't know ball. I'm telling you that right now. If you think that they're good drafters, you don't know ball. It was mid at best. And if you're pointing at 1 or 2 players, of course, you're drafting 7 guys in a draft. Not every single one of them is going to be a bust. But if we're looking at evaluating the top-end talent in the NFL, and you think they did a good job on that, you're wrong.
I mean, even then, like free agency, y'all. Like they gave monster deals to Corey Littleton, LaMarcus Joyner, Carl Nassib. Like they were bad from a trading standpoint. Antonio Brown, I get AB was crazy, but
I'm sorry.
yes, Justin Jefferson was in that draft too.
Kings A, you don't know ball.
I'm not gonna.
Bias.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
You don't know ball.
I mean, yeah. Anybody that thinks.
If you think that legitimately those were good drafts by the Raiders, I mean, I don't know.
Gruden traded away
You probably
Amari
think
Cooper.
Taco
He
Bell is
traded
real
away
Mexican food.
Traded away Khalil Mack. I mean, I'm trying to be nice here, y'all. Like, again, there's just no way that anybody that I would trust with an opinion could possibly think that John Gruden and Mike Mayock were good talent evaluators. Like, free agency was disgraceful. Trades were really, really bad. I mean, they traded for Martavis Bryant. They signed Trent Brown to the largest right tackle deal ever. I mean, it was just, it was bad, man. It was really bad. It was really bad.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, if you look at it objectively.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's no way anybody could possibly think that John Gruden and Mike Mayock were good at their jobs. There's no way. All right, y'all. So coming up here on the show, Jose, let's be honest. Mayock was not picking. You're not wrong there. Gruden was doing a lot of the picking. Gruden was really bad. But coming up here next on the show, we're going to have a little bit of fun. And I hope y'all are ready to have a little bit of fun with us. Ready? So what we're going to do today is we are going to predict who is going to win Super Bowl 58.
Daniel Caps-Keenan is saying, don't lie, you guys were pumped. Go watch the video on Alex Leatherwood. Mitch gave it a C.
The only picks that I was fired up about that I know for a fact, I think he's talking about free agency. I was fired up about Corey Littleton. I thought Littleton was going to be a lot better. I thought LaMarcus Joyner was going to be better. I'll admit that. But Kwiatkowski, I was okay about. I thought they overpaid him. I mean, even like Kenyon Drake was an electric show, but they overpaid him. Like, the problem with John Gruden and Mike Mayock is Gruden was still living in 2000. He was trying to run his team the same way that they did in 2000, and that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to move on from. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, he's talking about free agents. Yeah, draft picks were awful. Nobody's going to sit up here and tell you they were good. Free agency move, though, you could make an argument. I did like I said, I liked Corey Littleton. I liked the LaMarcus Joyner move. Off the top of my head, though, I can't think of any other moves that I was like really, really crazy about. Gruden did not know what he was doing. Facts. Mike Mayock, I get it. He was GM. Gruden was still probably ran the ship. But if you're going to tie yourself into somebody's name, like if this show was bad, guess what? Jeremy and I are bad. It's not just Mitch is bad. It's not just Jeremy's bad. The Raiders sport is Chugs and I. It's if the Raiders are bad, it's the combo. That's the way that it goes.
We do have a
few supers to get to. Correct. Let's get into some super chats, and then we're going to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl here on the Raiders Report. Scheffler, man, I get it. I hate KC, but if you live in the Bay Area, there's no way you want the Niners to win the Super Bowl in our house. I don't disagree with you, man. I really don't disagree with you. I get it. I hear you. I just don't want Kansas City to win. I don't live in the Bay Area. If I did, honestly, beer bongs would probably be $500 a pop because that's the only way Jugs and I to keep the lights on out there. Chef, though, you're a legend, bro. Let's go to the next one. Rolling in here on the show. Ben Bailey. I watched the Antonio Pierce interview where he called Champ Kelly a nice guy, but didn't really give him a ringing endorsement. Am I reading this wrong? I'm not going to speak for Antonio Pierce because if there's one thing Antonio Pierce has done since he's been the interim head coach is he's spoke his mind. But I'm not going to lie, I thought the exact same thing where I think Champ Kelly is a really good human being. But there are better candidates out there to be the next Raiders GM. Let's go to Shane. You're next up here on the show. We got the Smooth Operator. What are the estimated timelines for when the Raiders are going to hire and name their GM, head coach, and coaching staff? I said earlier that I believe, this was last week, I said that I believe in the next 2 weeks. So if today's January 11th, I think the Raiders are going to hire a GM in the next 10 days. And then you're probably going to hire a head coach within the week or 10 days of that. And then you're going to fill out your staff. What's important here for the Raiders is, like Carmen Brasillo today, he took a job as an offensive line coach. If I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get a head start on all the teams that are in the playoffs right now. Like, they're playoff teams for a reason. You can already go out and you can start making some moves. So if you believe that you have the right guy on top of that, as soon as certain coaches start getting hired, they're going to fill out their staff. And then that means that you're not going to have as much to pick from. The Raiders are going to be working quickly. They have 2 interviews tomorrow. They interview with Terrence Gray from Buffalo, and they have an interview tomorrow with Ed Dodds. Ed Dodds is the big one. I'm not going to lie to you. Ed Dodds is the one to be watching. Ben, I don't get the love for Champ. What has he actually done? Antonio's the only one I'm all in to keep. I don't 100% agree with this. I actually think keeping Patrick Graham is more important than keeping Antonio Pierce, and that's why I want to keep Antonio Pierce, because I want to keep both of them together. But Champ Kelly, being a GM, it's the GM a lot of times doesn't get the appreciation because they're not the one maybe interacting with fans. They're not the ones that you see. It's the unsexy job, right? It's kind of GM's kind of like being the offensive lineman of an offense, where the quarterback might get all the love, they might get all the hype. The running back gets all the love, all the hype. Josh Jacobs is great, but nobody really pays attention to the GM when they're probably the offensive lineman doing a lot of things. At least good organizations are the O-line. Or the good organizations, the GM's the O-line, where the head coach is the quarterback, the running back, the skill position players. Let's go to Real Cowboy. Wasn't Jefferson in the Ruggs draft too? Yes. So it was what? Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Reagor, and then Justin Jefferson?
And then Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
And T. Higgins.
Jalen Reagor. Again, I'll tell you this right now. My wide receiver rankings in that draft off the top of my head, I believe that I know that I had CeeDee Lamb as my number 1. That I know for a fact. Lamb was my 1. I don't even know if Ruggs was my 2. I'd have to go back and watch to honestly give you my legit opinion. I know that I had Jefferson and Ruggs right next to each other. The only thing that I legitimately remember, though, from that draft was CeeDee Lamb was my number 1. And CeeDee Lamb has proven that he can be a reliable receiver. Eric F., FAB, love it. FAB for life, man. My first Raiders game ever back in 2019. Nico, they were, as Nico says, astastic as a strip club at noon on a Tuesday. Not the astastic you want to see. Hot take, though, I'd go through it again to get Mad Max.
So that reminds me of that Rascal Flatts song.
Oh, man.
God bless the broken road.
I mean, somebody told me the other day,
if
you look at the Raiders draft as you took Max at number 4 and Cleveland in the 4th round, do you have a different opinion on that draft? And, if I hear you. Hear you out. I love the fact that Crosby's on this team, right? I mean, he is the heart and soul of this team. I disagree with what Antonio Pierce said the other day. He called Josh Jacobs the heart and soul of this team, which I greatly much disagree with. It's Max Crosby. He's the heart and soul of this team. But I am very appreciative that we have Max. Because I'll tell you what, if they didn't get Max Crosby in round 4, my oh my. I don't even want to know what those defenses would have looked like a few years ago. That would have been absolutely, and I mean absolutely brutal. Dead Raider says, drink some more, guys. All right, here are the deals. The only ways I'm drinking today are this, is if somebody bangs, $100 super chat, I do a beer bong. The other way is one of our legends here on the Raider Sport. His name is Justin Abgen, okay? He owns a plumbing company, and I'll make you guys a deal. Right now, he is at 207 reviews on Google. If he gets to 220, so 13 away, Raiders are picking 13, let's go with it. If he gets to 220 reviews, so he needs 13 more 5-star reviews on Google, I'll do a beer bong. So there's the free way, and then there's the bang way. However, I do have to take a leak. I know. I mean, I don't even know how much I have consumed today. I've had a few drinks, though. That I know. Did you put the link in there? Right, here, I'll put the link in.
It's at the top. It's at the top of the doc if you want to just copy and paste it.
Is it with the HTTP, though?
It is.
Wow, this guy, he gets it. He gets it. Okay. Here is Justin Abgen's link. All right, so the link I was putting in was wrong. So there's Justin Abgen's link. If he can get to 220 reviews, 5-star, he needs 13 5-star reviews more, I'll do a beer bong. If not, $100 super chat, bang, and we'll get it going. Let's go to a super rolling in here from BA. What up, BA? What do you got for me? Jim Harbaugh has the resume, but we aren't in rebuild as a franchise. Get rid of the staff that the players are all in for. We'll lose them a second time. Give AP a QB, an OC, and a good draft, and watch the resurgence of the Raiders. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, to me, the easier way to get the Raiders to go where they need to go right away is to keep Antonio Pierce, but it's also to keep Patrick Graham. Like I don't want to keep just AP and lose Patrick Graham. And I've said this before, the greater than signs, it's Antonio Pierce, Patrick Graham, Jim Harbaugh, Antonio Pierce. Like, if I can't keep AP and PG together, then I'd rather go Jim Harbaugh over Antonio Pierce, because if you lose Graham, to me, you're going to lose a lot of pieces. You're going to lose your defense, which scares the hell out of me. But if you give Antonio Pierce a quarterback and a good OC and a whole offseason to do what they want to do, I'll try it. I'm on board. I'm totally on board. All right, y'all, let me go take a quick leak. Here. And then, just click on the link, Rudy. You'll see what is his company name. Click on the link, bro. You got it. Let me go take a quick leak, and then I'll be back. A little playoff prediction.
All right, let me know, who is your dark horse to win the Super Bowl this season? Mitch is going to go quickly take a leak and then be right back. Chugs is the Raiders GM. I don't have enough experience. I would take the money, but I don't think that y'all would be happy with me as the GM. Because honestly, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, I'm probably just throwing darts at the board. I'm looking at Tom Downey's notes and saying, this dude has some length. Let's see, Browns, Lions. Well, you're wrong about the Browns. They're losing on Saturday. Who's your dark horse to win the Super Bowl this year? Texans and Lions. Let's see, a lot of Lions fans. Miami, Buffalo. Is Buffalo a dark horse now? They're the 2 seed. I don't know. Ravens. I wouldn't say the Ravens are a dark horse either. They're the 1 seed. I feel like for a dark horse, you have to be at least a 3 seed. 3 seed or below. Texans, Browns, Rams. Rams is a sneaky one as well. Texans, little JT, I wish. Raiders are not in the playoffs, unfortunately. Detroit, Fins. For me, out of the AFC, it'd have to be the Texans. NFC, I'm going Rams. I think the Rams are a sneaky good team. They can make a little bit of noise. I think so. Sienna says, I like CJ Stroud. I'll root for the Texans too. Bobby, what's up, Chugs? Can I get a Hoya? Hoya. Sam liked that one. Dark horse, Texans. I want the Texans to win for Chugs. Appreciate that, little JT. Join me on Saturday. I'll be live, Texans, Browns. Richard said, Chugs for head coach. Wow. I do have to say this. My halftime speeches would be, my pregame speeches would be legendary. Because I don't know, halftime speech, if we're losing, if they're going to really want to listen to me, a 5'10", 28-year-old Jewish kid telling them that they need to hype up and play better. But my pregame speech is lit. Every pregame, it would just be Mo Bamba. I got O's. Calling a young Raiders phone.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, you scared. I didn't know where you were going.
Woo!
Yeah, I didn't know where we were about to go.
Cullen, relax. Relax, Cullen.
Oh man.
Relax. Cullen's sweating right now.
Yeah? That's because he's not using Mando. That's why. All right, y'all. We got one more segment here on the Raiders Report. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Diehard Raiders Report fan. It's a good try. It's not true, but good try. Last time that I checked, the bang counter, we got all that updated. Our duck race here. Gary Chai, you're the last name that I got in. Remember, $20 Venmo for a chance to win some money. So right now we got 13 people in. I'm going to add an extra hundo.
Devin, I did not almost do it. I know what I'm doing.
$230 to the winner. $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. You would win $230.
Luis said the pregame speech would just be a boot.
Of whatever, we would fill up a boot, drop the team color of whoever we're playing. So Carolina Panthers, because apparently Harbaugh is going to the Panthers, according to some diehard Raiders Report fan here in the chat.
I had to put you in timeout. Sorry.
So it would be light blue. You take down that boot.
That's not even the pregame speech. That's me at midfield right before they do the national anthem. Sienna.
Salvador, you in?
The channel that I'll be live on Saturday is Texans Today. If you just search Texans Chat Sports, it should come up. But Texans Today by Chat Sports, that's the channel I'll be live on this Saturday for Texans v. Browns.
All right.
If you want to, the second tier stream, it's Browns Report. They will also be live.
Yeah, I'll be live for Dolphins Chiefs that night. I got Rolly with me. No chugs. I got Rolly with me.
This game needs to come up because I might lose a friend in Matthew Peterson if the game doesn't happen in the next day.
Potentially.
Matthew's already taken me off of his contacts
Really?
in his phone. I think so. I tried texting him and it just came up my number.
Wow. That's bad. Oh.
All right, one more super chat, and then we'll get into our next segment. I gotta loosen up. Got a lot of if you appreciate a good producing job, this next segment's gonna be a lot of producing on the fly.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. OC Raider, you in? Jose, you are also in. So as it stands right now, the winner of our race would get $260. $20 Venmo to win $260. Okay? Let's go to this one here, Chugs, and then we're going to get into our...
operator.
However, I believe Ruggs would have been a beast if he didn't get a DUI. I wanted Ruggs and Jefferson or Queen in the first round. Patrick Queen would have been a good pick. I think the pick that ticked me off the most since I've been covering the Raiders, Cleveland Ferrell's definitely up there. Damon Arnett at 19, I'll never understand. Honestly, though, when you see the whole Ruggs situation, I do think that he would have turned into a good receiver. I don't think that he would have ever been better, though, than CeeDee Lamb. Justin Abgen! Bang! Oh, Abgen. Abgen, I'll have to do that at the very end of the show. I'm just going to be honest with you. Abgen, I'll make you a deal. Either you get a boo at the very end of the show, or I'll do one beer bong right now. I'm just telling you right now. I'm hurting a pup a little bit, but the last time that I checked, Abgen, you were at 216 reviews. You're at 216.
You said boot at the end.
Boot at the end? Boot at the end. It is, my good man. All right, y'all. I'm excited for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm just telling y'all right now, you're about to see a lot, and I mean a lot of duck races. And Justin, the biggest reason why I wanted to wear your jersey today, man, I really appreciate our conversation yesterday. I really appreciated a lot of the conversations we've had over the last 2-3 weeks. He's been sending me pics from, this is going to sound weird at first, his hotel room snowing a lot in Idaho. Very,
Okay, there
very
we go.
cold.
There we go.
As a plumber, he's a busy man right now. But on top of that, everything that you've done for this channel, and this is the first time that I've ever done this segment that we're about to do on this show. And as Nico says, support to the nation businesses. That's what it's all about, man. One thing that I'm going to really try to do more in 2024 is you guys show a lot of love here to the Raider Sport, but I want to show some love to,
some Mando.
a lot of the businesses that you guys run. So I'll be in contact with some of the OGs here to say, hey,
Okay.
how can I help? How can the nation help? So here we go. We're going to be doing a lot of stopping and starting, a lot of different things going on here, but I'm about to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl this season. You ready?
I think so. All right.
Wait. Okay. Ready?
Sounds good.
Here we go. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raider Sport. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and today we are going to do duck races to decide who wins Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. So here's the thing. We're going to go through all the wild card games, all the divisional games, the NFC, AFC championship, and then we're going to go into the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you with the Ducks who is going to win Super Bowl 58. If you don't know what the AFC playoff picture looks like, it looks like this. The Baltimore Ravens, they get the early bye. They're the number 1 seed. Then it's the Bills, the Chiefs, the Texans, Browns, Dolphins, Steelers is how it rounds out. On the NFC, the 49ers, they get the bye. Then it's Cowboys, Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Rams, and the Green Bay Packers. If you're wondering, Mitch, what are the games for this weekend? Well, luckily, I got you covered. Browns at Texans, Dolphins at Chiefs. Those are the Saturday games. Steelers at Bills, Packers at Cowboys, Rams at Lions. Those are the Sunday games. Eagles at Bucks, Monday Night Football, Ravens, Niners on the bye. So my question to the nation and my question to anybody that tunes into today's show, because I have a feeling we're going to get more than just Raider fans, it's time to look into your crystal balls. What do they look like? Who wins Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium, the best stadium in the NFL, the best stadium on the planet? Who wins Super Bowl 58? I want to know from all of you down in the comment section. It's Browns at Texans, the 5 seed against the 4 seed, going down here in the wild card round. And I got a question for everybody that comes across this video. Who you got? If you're going to go with the Cleveland Browns, type CLE. If you're going to go with the Houston Texans, I want you to type HOU to decide who's going to end up winning this game. We are going to be doing a duck race here on the Raiders Report. So I need to know, Texans, Browns, let's get this race going right now here, Raiders Report style. Browns, Texans, out to an early lead. So that means in the first quarter, the Browns, they got an early lead here in this game. Maybe getting the running game going. Maybe it's a little bit of Joe Flacco getting it going. But you can't sleep on C.J. Stroud. Yeah, but right now it's the Browns. I mean, now you're into the third quarter. Browns have been leading this game the entire way. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Are they going to do it? Wait, C.J. Stroud, 2-minute drill. The Houston Texans. The Houston Texans come away with a big-time victory in this wild card round matchup. All right, the next matchup coming up here is the Miami Dolphins up against the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the 6 seed going up against the 3 seed in Kansas City. Tua up against Patrick Mahomes, which means I got to know who you got. If you're going to go with the Miami Dolphins, I want you to type MIA. If you're going to go with Kansas City, I need you to type KC. Hopefully you got your coats on because this one, it's going to be a cold one. So let's get this race going right now. You got Kansas City up against Miami and out to an early lead. It is the Chiefs here in the first quarter. Patrick Mahomes starting off to an early game. Maybe Miami's just a little bit cold. Now entering the second quarter, Kansas City's got a lead, but wait, Miami's making a little bit of charge here. Maybe it's all that looks they've been getting on Hard Knocks. Dolphins right now with the lead. Coming into the third quarter, Dolphins with the lead in the third quarter. We're in the fourth quarter territory. Type those 4s. Miami just quite not enough. It looks like Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City comes away with a win. AFC matchup here, the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Buffalo Bills. The 7 up against the 2 seed. Both teams that really had to fight their way into the playoffs at the very, very back end to get in. Giggity. Who you got, though? I need to know. Are you going to go with the Steel Curtain type PIT for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or are you going to go with the Buffalo Bills? I need you to type BUF. I got a lot of family members probably pulling for Buffalo. The winner of this game could decide a lot. Josh Allen up against Mason Rudolph. So let me know who you got. Buffalo, Steelers. Let's get this race going right now. Out to the lead, it is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, and they are really putting out their dominance here early on. You can see Stephon Diggs maybe making a big catch. This defense stepping up here a little bit. The Pittsburgh Steelers are nowhere to be found. Where is Mason Rudolph? I got no idea, but wait, you can't sleep on Najee Harris. You can't sleep on Mike Tomlin, right now the longest tenured head coach in the National Football League, 17 years. Steelers with the lead in the fourth quarter. Are they going to blow it? They are not. They are going to get the dub. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills. NFC playoff matchup here. The Green Bay Packers on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, you can make an argument, are one of the best teams in the NFL at home. Dak Prescott going up against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, a team that had 0 Pro Bowlers. So who you got? If you're going to go with the Green Bay Packers, I need you to type GB. If you're going to roll with the Dallas Cowboys at home, I need you to type DAL. Let's get this race going here. You got Packers, Cowboys, NFC showdown. The Cowboys and Packers, this is an easy, equal game early on here. Dallas got the early lead in the first quarter. Now we're starting to roll here into the second quarter a little bit. Maybe Aaron Jones is getting it going. Maybe this running game's going. Jordan Love's getting hot at halftime. We're tied here at halftime. Into the third quarter, the Packers take an early lead. Are they going to have enough? It doesn't look like it's going to be, but wait, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to have enough, and the Dallas Cowboys get the win up against the Green Bay Packers at home. This matchup I can't wait for. Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit to play his old team. Jared Goff going to play his old team in the Los Angeles Rams, the 6 against the 3 seed. I'm telling you all right now, I'm rooting for the Detroit Lions, but I got to know who you got. If you're going to go with the Los Angeles Rams, I want you to type LAR. If you're going to go with the Detroit Lions, I need you to type DET. To me, this is the game that I'm probably locked into the most, because if there is a team that I want to win the Super Bowl, I'm telling you right now, I want the Detroit Lions to win, but a lot of revenge games going on. So, who you got? The Detroit Lions up against the Los Angeles Rams here in this matchup. Rams, Lions, let's get this one going on right now here at Ford Field. Lions get out to an early lead with Jared Goff. Probably getting that running game established here a little bit. David Montgomery, maybe it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Who knows? Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the most underappreciated receivers in the league. This one going into halftime, though, it's Lions early on, but you can't sleep on Matthew Stafford. You can't sleep on this game. In the third quarter, it's still Lions with the lead. Oh, wait, but it's the Rams. No, quick turnover. Are the Lions going to get the dub? The Detroit Lions get the win, and they advance, which means the final game here in the NFC coming up right now. Philadelphia Eagles up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The 5-seed Eagles, who've been struggling a little bit, up against Baker Mayfield and the 4-seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game is on Monday, and I got to know who you got. If you're going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, I need you to type PHI. If you're going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, give me some TBs down below. Even though Philadelphia is on the road, they're going to be the favorites here in this game. So who we got? Eagles, Bucks. Let's get this game going right now here. Eagles, Bucks out to a very neck-and-neck type of game. I mean, this one's going back and forth. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got the lead here at the end of the first quarter. Rolling in here close to halftime. The Bucks have the lead at home up against the struggling Eagles. Will they be able to get it going here? Only time will tell. After the third quarter, Tampa Bay still with the lead, but the Philadelphia Eagles are just showing that they are a physical football team. We're getting close here to the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia comes away with the win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're going to survive to advance to the next round. Coming up here next on the show, the NFC divisional game. So if you enjoyed what we just did there, we're about to do the exact same thing. That's coming up right here on the Raiders Report. Okay, so Jeremy Chugs now is going to start cutting up some of this stuff. I know we just did a lot of races there. I know it was a little bit crazy, but this is one thing that I really, really wanted to be able to do here on this show. Like I see Nick McBride, LA Raider, Nada, Cody, Firefighter, Millie. Hopefully you all are enjoying our Super Bowl prediction video. So essentially what Jeremy's going to do now, he's going to take the winners of the NFC. He's going to take the winners of the AFC. He's going to get those matchups going. If you remember, though, or if you know, the NFL doesn't do it, I think, the way that they should. They do reseeding. They do it the right way. The MLB doesn't. They do reseeding. So that means the 49ers, they're going to end up playing the lowest seed in the NFC, and that means the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to end up playing the lowest seed in the AFC. We're going to have some really good matchups here in the NFC and the AFC, and then both of the winners of these games obviously then advances to the AFC Championship game, to the NFC Championship game, and then we get to exactly where we need to be, which is the Super Bowl. For more videos, number 2, Cowboys. It's Eagles at Cowboys, Niners up against the Lions. Lions at Niners. No, that's not right. Eagles at Niners. Eagles at Niners, Lions, Cowboys. Yeah, it's all good. And then the AFC would be the 49ers, Steelers. I am all out of whack. Ravens, yeah. Ravens. Texans at Chiefs. If it's Texans-Chiefs, dude, that's going to be an electric watch party here on this channel. That would be an electric one. I got to know, though, from all of y'all, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? I got Lions all the way from Oakland Taco. Firefighter Jimmy says the Green Bay Packers are going to get a dub. Oakland, I got the Lions. Give me the Pack versus the Texans. The Packers, they didn't win, though. We got Lions, Baltimore from King Zay. Ryan the King's going to go with the Buffalo Bills. In this scenario, they did not win, but if you think the Bills are going to go all the way, it's all good. Mike says Lions. Baltimore from John Scheffler. Browns over the Niners there from Robert Hubbard. Brian Darr is going to go with the Lions. Bills versus Lions from Jax. Ravens from LJT. What? If you need help, just go ahead. We can get someone. Scheffler is going to go with Baltimore. Raider J going to go with the Texans. Yep. Raider J. Yep. Lions at Cowboys. Eagles at Niners. Steelers at Ravens. And then Texans at Chiefs. Would be how that would go. Oh, super thought. Steelers from a Raiders fan. Brian Darr, what's up, my man? We're going to get these next games going on, but overall, do you like this idea? We figured we would try to produce or predict the NFL playoffs. Did you get my 20 for the duck race from Nick McBride? Let me look real quick, Nick. The last names that I see in our duck race, and remember, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to get in. Nick McBride, you in. My dad, in. I'm just going to put it as dad there, Richie. And then Nico Laz, you in. All in this race. And then I also see Amy, you in. Scheffler, in. So right now we are up to 21 people, which means winner would get 210. But wait, Mitch, didn't you say you would add 100? I did say I'd add 100. So that means winner now gets $310. $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to get in and win a little bit of money. At Mitchell Renz 365, winner would get $310 as it stands right now. Good luck to everybody once they get it in. Also, for anybody that does not know, the next beer bong that I have to do here on this show is when my man Justin Abgen gets to 220 Google reviews. He is at 216. So Abgen's done a lot of legendary shit here on the show, and I wanted to show some love to my guy Abgen. So if you guys want to go give Abgen a 5-star review, here is the link. I am putting it for you down in the comments. Ryan Bass in. You're good. Ryan Bass in. I'm going to refresh one more time here, and then Julio Zap in. So now we are up to 23 people. 23 people. Good luck. 230 means winner gets 330. Yep. Okay. You guys ready? Yep. That one looks good. That one looks good. Yep, that one looks good. That one looks good. All right. All right, y'all. Coming up here, we're going to get into some NFC divisional games here on the Raiders Report. As soon as Jeremy gives me the okay, we're going to get it going right now. Coming up. Yeah, you get the races ready. So what, you just do different tabs? Okay. So Jeremy's going to get all the races ready. And then we're going to get into this next part. McBride, I also just added you as a friend, so you should be good there. Ooh, boy. Here we go. Anthony Green in. Miggy Camacho in. And then Raider fan for life in. If you're like, Mitch, what am I getting in for? $20 Venmo for a chance to win right now as it stands $360. There's 26 people in. I'm putting an extra hundo on the pot. So 26 usually only means you win $260. This time we're adding an extra hundo though. We're gonna give $360 away to the winner as it stands right now. Okay, you ready? Jeremy's giving me the ready. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, NFC divisional games. Let's now get into the divisional rounds here. You got Steelers at Ravens after Pittsburgh's big upset over the Buffalo Bills. Texans at the Chiefs. I think we're a little bit nervous about this one. Lions at the Cowboys. And then the Philadelphia Eagles up against the San Francisco 49ers. Divisional round matchup now. The Pittsburgh Steelers up against the Baltimore Ravens. Let me know who you got. Type PIT for the Pittsburgh Steelers or type BAL for the Baltimore Ravens. A little bit of a revenge game potentially for Baltimore who lost to Pittsburgh in Week 18 in a very rainy game. So please let me know down below who you got. Let's get into it right now. A little AFC North action. Ravens, Steelers out to an early lead here by just a field goal. It looks like it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And after the first quarter, Steelers with a clear lead. Mike Tomlin up against Harbaugh. We'll see how this one ends up going down. Here at halftime, though, we're tied up. Tied at halftime. Baltimore now takes the lead in the third quarter. Are they going to have enough to keep away Mason Rudolph? Only time will tell. It looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers are making a charge. The Steelers take down the Baltimore Ravens and come away with a big-time win. Next matchup coming up here is the Houston Texans up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me know who you got. Type HOU for the Houston Texans or type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams won their division, but what will this matchup end up looking like? You got KC, you got Houston. Houston traveling to the Chiefs. Here we go. Let's get this matchup going right now. Kansas City out to an early lead to get this one. I'm guessing that they got the ball to start this game. Then the Houston Texans, right? They're hanging really, really tough right now with Kansas City. Coming in here close to halftime. It looks like the Texans got the early lead here at halftime, but the only way you beat Kansas City is if you win in the second half. We'll see if they're able to hold off Andy Reid. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. Kansas City takes the lead, but wait. Maybe the Texans got a little left in them. Maybe the Texans got a little left in them. They do not. The Kansas City Chiefs come away with the win over the Houston Texans. All right, y'all. Coming up next here is going to be the NFC divisional games here on the Raiders Report. We just went through. We did the AFC, and now we are going to get into the NFC matchups coming up right now here on the Raiders Report. We good? Coming up right now on the Raiders Report. All right, let's go. Cowboys, Lions action. If you're going to go with Dallas, type DAL. If you're going to go with the Detroit Lions, I need a DET down below. This is going to be an extremely heavily watched game. I almost feel like I'm on Thanksgiving morning watching Cowboys, Lions, getting this one going. All right, here we go. Lions, Cowboys. This one is off, and it is away. My fiance, she's a Cowboys fan. The Lions, though, is the team that I will be rooting for here in this matchup. And out to this start, it's been all Cowboys early on. They do have the lead at halftime. However, it's the Cowboys. Can you really trust them as the season goes on? I mean, this game is tied in the third quarter. It's who wants it more in the fourth. Who wants it more in the fourth quarter? Cowboys take the lead. Lions had the lead early on, but it looks like it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys with the win up against the Detroit Lions. Next matchup coming up here on the show, Eagles-Niners. This is a big matchup and might be even a little bit of a rivalry, some would say, because of the matchup that they had in the AFC Championship last year. Eagles type PHI. If you're going to go with the San Francisco 49ers, though, give me an SF down below. Eagles, Niners, let's get this one going here. This is going to be a physical football game. The Philadelphia Eagles get out to an early lead here in this ball game. But obviously, you can't sleep on the San Francisco 49ers. Are going to try to beat you up. At halftime, Niners with the lead here by a field goal. However, third quarter action getting going now. Niners with a little bit of a lead, but fourth quarter now, Eagles with the lead. I don't know who's going to win this one. Eagles, Niners. The San Francisco 49ers come away with a win here in this matchup. So, Niners get the dub over the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming up here on the show, our NFC Championship game, which this one's going to be an absolute doozy. Okay, nation, as it stands right now, so the AFC Championship game is the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Chiefs, which I do not like. I don't like that. And then the NFC Championship game is the Niners and the Cowboys. Devastating. This is, I told Jeremy before we did this show, I was like, maybe we should have done this. Like, again, if anybody thinks the duck races are rigged, we have absolutely no control. It's literally a coin flip on who wins which game. But my, oh my, are we really about to get Kansas City Niners in a Super Bowl? I sure hope not. I sure hope not. We'll see, though. We'll see how this ends up going down. Oh, man. If it would have been up to me, I'll tell you what, this would not have been the outcome we would have had. However, the great part about the duck race is we have no control, and you never know what exactly is going to happen here. So we got the NFC Championship game, and then we're going to get into the AFC Championship game. So the first game that we're going to end up doing here is going to be Cowboys at Niners. And then the following game is going to be Steelers at Chiefs. And that will decide who ends up winning Super Bowl 58. As it stands right now, I guess I want the Steelers to win, but even that is a matchup I don't even want. Even that is a matchup that I don't even know if I'm all that crazy about. Eric F. says, this is some Madden shit right here. Oh, you're definitely right. The NFC is probably going to be the right matchup from Chef. You never know. That's what I love about the NFL playoffs, man. You just got to find the right team to be playing at the right time. Also, I got to give some shout-outs to some people that just entered our duck race. Raider J, you in. Or, excuse me, Raider Ray. It's on me. Raider Ray, you in. And then Andrew Conaway, in. So as it stands right now, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. It's a picture of me. You would have an opportunity to win $380. 20 to get in. Right now there's 28 people. I'm at an extra 100 of my money. And now you're going to have an opportunity to win $380. So as soon as Chugs gives me the thumbs up, we're going to get right back into these duck races on today's show. So good luck to everyone. You're good? Coming up here on the show, an NFC Championship matchup. The conference championship matchups are as follows. In the NFC, it's the Dallas Cowboys on the road up against the San Francisco 49ers. And for the AFC, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go, Cowboys, Niners. Probably the worst case scenario for what I would have wanted in this matchup. But hey, it is what it is. The duck races, they're totally random. Who you got? Type DAL for the Dallas Cowboys or type SF for the San Francisco 49ers. Here we go. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. Tough football game here. 49ers are going to get the ball to start. The Cowboys defense, don't sleep on them. Tied after the first quarter. We'll see who's able to take the lead going into halftime. Right now, the Cowboys, they got a touchdown lead up against the Niners at halftime. Cowboys with a 10-point lead. Cowboys with a 13-point lead. But wait, is Dallas going to collapse? The Niners tied up in the third quarter. It's fourth quarter action. Niners with the lead, and the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. Niners are going to the Super Bowl, and they will play the winner of Steelers and the Chiefs. Steelers, Chiefs, AFC Championship game. Let me know who you got. Are you going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, type PIT, or are you going to roll with the Kansas City Chiefs? I want you to type KC. It looks like the Steelers are really putting on their Terry Bradshaw costumes in this one. And it looks like Kansas City is wearing their costumes as well. Here we go. We got this game going on right now. Pittsburgh, they've been playing good football. You got to give Mason Rudolph here a little bit of credit. Gets out to an early lead here in the first quarter, but you can't sleep on Andy Reid in Kansas City, and it looks like that they're going to come away with a lead here at halftime. Right now up by, I'm going to say 10, maybe 7 points. However, looks like Kansas City's fall back a little bit. Pittsburgh with the lead in the fourth quarter. Are they going to have enough to hold them off? Come on, Pittsburgh. Come on, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh with the win. 49ers, Steelers, Super Bowl 58. We're going to decide here who's going to come away with that Lombardi trophy. All right, y'all, if you're having a good time with us live here on the Raiders Report, we do duck races all the time. We're able to do a lot. We're actually going to do another duck race at the very end of today's show to decide who's going to end up winning a little bit of money here. But we got Super Bowl 58 coming up. It's going to be in Allegiant Stadium, and it's going to be between the San Francisco 49ers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Steelers would be a shock. I mean, let's be real here. Steelers-Niners would be a little bit of a surprise to some people out there. However, we'll see, man. We'll see what ends up happening. Who would you get? Who would you go for? Would you go for Pittsburgh, or would you go for the 49ers in this case? I guess I'd root for Pittsburgh. Our Chief Show is chiming in the chat, which, oh, man, get ready for game day there. Get ready for game day. I see a lot of FKCs in the chat. Let's get some FKCs going in the chat. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Remember, if you want a chance to win some money, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Jorge Morales in. Justin Avgin, you in. And then Elias Guzman, you in. So as it stands right now, 31 people are in this race, which means that we're giving away $310. Oh, wait. Add an extra 100. $410. $20 Venmo for a chance to win $410. $20 Venmo for a chance to win $410. After we get done with the Super Bowl race, I'll answer a few more questions here on this show, and then I got to do a boot from Avgin, and then I'm going to skedaddle, and I'm going to get on out of here. We are also 2 likes away from hitting 600 likes, so if you guys could do me a real solid, click that like button. Who's going to be like 600? Who's going to be like 600? Who's going to be like 600? In fact, we actually just lost a like. Somebody's like, you know what? I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Raider Muerte, what is your Venmo name? Because I got Elias, Justin, Jorge, Andrew, Raider Ray, Raider Fan for Life, Miggy, Anthony Green, Julio, Ryan Bass, Scheffler, Nico, my dad, Nicholas McBride, Jose Corona, OC Raider, Salvador Mena, Gary Chai, Ryan Campbell, Matthew Lozano, The Great Tuna, Rafael Murillo, Luis Rodriguez, Isidro, Alisadar, Eugene. I got Martin Elise, Justin Gonzalez, and Zach Martin. Those are the names. Jorge Morales, I got you. Jeremy, you ready? The Super Bowl is here at our fingertips. Coming up, who you got? Oh, man. Niners, Steelers, Super Bowl 58. Coming up here on the Raiders Report, Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the San Francisco 49ers. This game is going to be going down on February 11th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Jeremy Chugs and I, we will be live for this game. So if you want to tune in and have a good time with us, guess what? Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. So who you got? If this was the Super Bowl, are you going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers or are you going to go with the Niners? I mean, Pittsburgh here, they've been having a hell of a run. Upset after upset after upset. They are playing hot football. So this one, we're going to go for a minute here. Super Bowl 58, Steelers, Niners. Let's get this one going. Niners out to their first drive. However, they get stopped early. Pittsburgh Steelers now, they're going to go down their first drive. They're going to get some points here on the board. Steelers got the lead after the first quarter here at Super Bowl 58. Pittsburgh still with the lead here in the second quarter, but the Niners, they get the ball. And now they're going to go down the field. They march, they score, they put some points up on the board. Niners look like that they're going to go into halftime here. Super Bowl 58 with the lead. Now, Niners got the lead here in the third quarter, up by about a touchdown, and they're holding that lead right now. It's a back-and-forth type of football game. Are they going to be able to hang on to it, though, and get a win? Fourth quarter time, Niners up by a field goal. Pittsburgh, though, starting to creep in. Pittsburgh takes the lead. Super Bowl 58, who's going to win? Steelers falling back. The Niners put up a touchdown. And the San Francisco 49ers are Super Bowl champions. The Niners are your winners of Super Bowl 58. There you go. Again, man, we don't do anything here. We just let the Ducks decide. Congratulations to Chase Senior and to the San Francisco 49ers. For more videos like you watched here today, hopefully you hit that subscribe button here on the show. If you're looking for updates, maybe you're a Raiders fan around the Las Vegas Raiders, make sure you guys give me a follow on IG. Make sure you give me a follow on Twitter as well, at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you want to watch a lot of these playoff games live with me and live with our entire Chat Sports crew, we're doing watch parties for every single playoff game here at Chat Sports, which is at that link down below. It's also you're gonna be able to find it down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. And the video that you're watching right now is here on the Raiders Report. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you join Jeremy Chugs and I for all of our playoff games here on the Raiders Report. Oh man, that was a doozy. That was a doozy, but sometimes, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, y'all, final call. Final call here on the show to get in for a chance to win a little bit of money. Adrian Alfaro in. Adrian Alfaro, you in. All right, Jeremy. We're going to count down. We're going to do a little countdown here. Or how about this? Can you go fill up the boot for me or have somebody fill up the boot? And while the duck race is happening, I'm going to take down the boot. While the duck race is happening, I want Happy Dads. Yeah, give me Happy Dads. I'll take Happy Dads. I'll say if I did a Zon milkshake right now, I'd be shook. Oh, man, the Niners got the win, man. I don't know. I don't like it. Is what it is, though. It is what it is. That was as random as it gets. Hell of a football game, though. Hell of a football game. Taino says a Zon milkshake. Does anybody want to tell Taino what a Zon milkshake is? What's a Zon shake? Some of y'all know. Some of you don't. What is a Zon milkshake? Because I don't think I'd be able to do a Zon shake. El Loco says a best of 3. Can't do best of 3. It's the Super Bowl. It's the playoffs. They don't do best of 3. I'll tell you what. Maybe just to make Jeremy insane for the MLB playoffs next year, we'll run it like the playoffs. Game 7, World Series. That would be something. Yeah, Bud Light. It's 3 Bud Lights. That's the joke. All right, I'm going to refresh my phone one more time here. If you don't get it in right now, you're not in, and you're just donating to Chuck's college fund. All right, that is it. Adrian Alfaro. He's trying to get into Barkley. It's not going to be easy. Chuck's a great guy. Maybe not the best student. I think he has ADHD. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think he's got ADHD. But if we get any more Venmos, it's going to Chuck's college fund, trying to get into Barkley. I hope he gets in. He gets it from Alex, though. Okay. Poor Chuck from Siena. I know. Chuck's got a tough life. He eats, sleeps all day. He's got a tough life, man. I'll tell you that. Rough life. Oh, man. That's a tail wagger right there. I'll tell you this, though. He's always DTF. Always down to fetch. No doubt. Chuck, always DTF. Okay, y'all. So all the ducks that you're about to see here on screen, this is, whoever wins this, you're going to get, perfect number for the nation, $420. Winner of this race gets $420. Now, Jeremy, I do need you to hop on the mic because I'm going to take down this boot. And I'm going to need you. You're gonna do the first half. I'm going to do the second half.
All right.
So when you're ready, you let me know. Winner, $420.
In 3, 2, 1. Let's get it going. And they're off. Martin at the bottom of the screen, and then we got Lozano taking the lead. Right there is Mena right behind him. Coming at the rear, we got Ryan Bass, Nico Laz, and O.C. Raider. Tuna's in the middle of the pack, Alyssa Dar. We also got Luis Rod making a run on the outside. Julio Zapp, Miggy Camacho. Justin Abgen at the top of the course. He's making a run for first place. We've got Raider Ray, Mitchell Renz in the middle of the pack.
I actually forgot I was even in this race. I also heard that little Lord Jeremy Chugg's accent in there. Luis Rodriguez got the lead. Watch out for Zach Martin, the very first one to get this one going. Amy in a very interesting spot. Mickey Camacho. I don't even know if Mickey can see at this point. But I think Luis. Oh, I spoke too soon. Amy! Oh my God, is my dad going to win? My dad beats Amy. My dad with the win. That's Richie's first ever win. That's unbelievable. Richie in his Batman suit. Real question is, Dop, do you actually have a Batman suit? Honest question. I'll say this. Let me see how many times my dad has raced. This is definitely his first win. My dad has raced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times he gets his first dub. I mean, that's shout out to Richie there. Shout out to Richie. The real question is he still awake? Richie. He goes to bed early. No, I'm just kidding. He actually wakes up a little bit more now. Oh man, that was Raphael. Hey, give me some slack here, Raphael. Give me some slack here. All right, y'all. I gotta get going. That boot's already kicking my butt. Hopefully you guys had some fun today. Had a really good time doing the whole playoff thing. And here's the thing: every single week we're going to do a updated look at the NFL playoffs, and we're going to do duck races. We're not going to do it the way that we just did, but every single week here on Thursday, we will end up doing the duck races just to decide who's going to win some playoff games. So from me, from Jeremy Chuggs, hopefully, for Chuggs' sake, hopefully the Texans get a win, and then hopefully you guys tune into my live watch party as well. Dolphins, Chiefs, hopefully Miami gets a win. As always, it's FKC. Love all y'all to the end of the world. I'm back. Shout out to Justin Abgen for being a legend. Shout out to OC. Shout out to my guy, Mask 80, David Zahn, freaking anybody. And I mean anybody, Abjin, Arbora, anybody that banged on today's show, I appreciate the hell out of y'all. So from me, from Chugs, from everybody here at Chat Sports, I want you guys to have a good weekend.